A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike.
Feeling low,
feeling tense. These 8 words are common sense.
smoke a Lucky,
To be your level best.
smoke a Lucky.
To be your level best.
Millions of smokers are learning that Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense. That's what fine tobacco can do for you. And LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, puff by puff, pack by pack, you'll really enjoy this fine, light, naturally mild Lucky Strike tobacco. And you'll agree that Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike, and get on the lucky level where you feel and do your level best. Yes, smoke a Lucky to feel your level best.
The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, the sportsman, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, for 16 years I've been introducing the star of our show, and after all those years you'd think I'd run out of things to say about him. Well, I have. So here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking, and Don, that wasn't a very nice introduction.
Well, I'm sorry, Jack, but after 16 years I just couldn't think of anything new.
Oh, you couldn't, eh? Well, Don, I'm sure that if I were introducing you, I wouldn't have that trouble.
Oh, yes, you would, Jack. You've been saying the same things about me for years. Well, I'll bet you can't say anything that I haven't heard before.
Oh, yes, I can, Don.
What?
You're fired. And now, ladies and gentlemen... Ladies and gentlemen, we'll proceed...
Wait a minute, Jack. You're not serious, are you?
Well...
You can't fire me. After all, I've got a wife and 3 chins to support.
Don, stop worrying. You've been with me for 16 years, and I hope you're with... Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Hello, Don.
Hello, Mary.
I'm sorry I'm late, Jack, but my car wouldn't start this morning, and I had to take the bus.
Oh, that's all right.
Well,
Don.
say, Mary, if your car ever gives you trouble again, why don't you call on me? I'll drive you down. You've seen my new car, haven't you?
Yes, I have, Don, and on you it looks good.
Certainly does. By the way, Mary, I understand you called me on the phone yesterday. What did you want?
Well, you always like to know when I get letters from my mother, and I got one yesterday. In fact, I brought it with me.
Oh, a letter from your mother, eh?
Uh-huh.
Well, what does the mock kettle of Plainfield have to say?
Well, just a second, and I'll read it to you.
Okay.
My darling daughter, Mary, as you'll notice from the stationery, I'm writing this from the Plainfield Hotel. The reason we're here is because 3 days ago, we shut the house up and had it fumigated on account of the pests. We got rid of them, all except your Uncle Lou and Cousin Willie.
Well, it's about time.
We really
Your
don't...
mother didn't start out very funny, incidentally. Go ahead.
We really don't mind Willie, as he's very little bother. He spends all his time down in the basement with his printing press. He has to work night and day because his biggest competitor is the United States government.
Your mother writes them all right. You just can't read them. I was blaming the mother. The mother at all. Go ahead, Mary. I'm sorry.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, well.
Anyway, Mary, dear, I kind of like Willie because he's so sweet and thoughtful. Every Mother's Day, he gives me a $10 bill with my picture on it.
Well, I guess I was right in the first place.
Now for a paragraph or two about your sister Babe.
Ah, good. This is the part I like.
Since the warm weather is here, your sister Babe got herself one of those new French bathing suits. She tried it on yesterday, and I haven't seen so much of Babe since the doctor said it's a girl. However, she's very happy with the suit. Next month, she's entering a swimming contest.
A contest? Gee, I didn't even know that she could swim.
Oh, sure, Jack. Babe's a regular mermaid.
Well, I've noticed the resemblance, except the wrong half looks like a fish. I'm funnier than your mother today. Continue with the letter, Mary.
Okay. Mary, dear, you'll be happy to know that Babe is also taking dancing lessons from Arthur Murray.
Well.
She got a swell deal, too. He teaches her dancing, and she fixes his plumbing.
I knew she could do it. You know, Mary, your mother writes some of the funniest letters, though, I've ever heard.
She certainly does, Mary. They're loaded with laughs.
Yeah, they're a scream.
Oh, hello, Dennis. When did you come in?
When they found out Mary's sister Babe was a girl.
Oh, then you missed the start of the letter. Would you like me to read it to you?
Oh, no, I'll hear it on tonight's rebroadcast.
Oh, yes.
By the way, Dennis, you were off the program last week. Was anything wrong?
Oh, no, Mary. Mr. Benny gave me a week off so I could go away for a little vacation. I sure enjoyed myself. I went fishing on Lake Mead.
Well, how was the fishing, Dennis?
Oh, it was wonderful. Boy, was I lucky.
What'd you catch?
4 trout, 3 perch, 5 bass, and a high-button shoe.
A high-button shoe?
Yeah, but it was too small, so I had to throw it back.
Oh, fine. He caught a shoe.
You ought to see the hip boot that got away.
Oh, quiet.
I wish I could get away and do a little fishing. That's one of my favorite sports.
Fishing?
Yeah. What a thrill it is to hook a silvery rainbow trout, one of nature's loveliest creations. What a sight as it breaks the water in a shimmering shower of glistening drops, and the sunlight reflecting on its iridescent beauty.
Look how he describes the fish. Me, he can't see anything nice.
Jack, what are you talking about?
Nothing.
Say, Dennis, how long were you at Lake Mead?
Oh, we were there for a whole week, and I spent all my time out on the boat.
A whole week on a boat?
Avast there, you landlubber. Larboard the starboard and drop the anchor.
Look, Dennis.
Give him the timber, the man, the puncher will all drown like rats.
Dennis, that's enough.
Ahoy, me hearties, batting the barton and pooping down the poop deck.
Batting the barton? What happened to Durston and Osborne? Now, Dennis, that's enough. Do you hear?
So that's tough, Mr. Christian, or I'll swing you from the highest yardarm of the British fleet.
Oh. Mary, see what you can do with him, will you?
Dennis, Jack is right. Why don't you
Let the men mutiny, my lass, and don't worry. The ship may be rocking and pitching, but I'll sail it through this hurricane or...
Dennis, what's the matter?
I'm seasick.
Good. Now, look, Popeye, it's time for your song. What are you going to sing?
Careless hands.
Okay, let's have it.
Aye, sir.
Yes, and sung by Dennis Day. Very good, Dennis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight, we are going to do our version of that Warner Brothers picture, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. And I better cast it right now. I, of course, will play the leading role.
Of course.
Certainly. Listen, I'll give a performance that'll...
Okay, folks, you're all in clover because Harris is here and this lull is over. Lay it right on me. Oh, yeah.
Phil, why do you always have to come in here and ask the audience to applaud?
Well, I ain't going to get no laughs with the jokes you give me, and I want to hear some kind of noise.
Well, you got no right to complain about the jokes. You get as many laughs on this program as I do.
That's what I mean. I want to hear some kind of noise. Applaud me, folks.
Phil!
All right. I'll read the stuff that's written here, but I thought a little ad-libbing would liven things. Hi, you live.
Hello, Phil. How are Alice and the children?
Oh, fine, Liv, fine. Just left them. You know, this being the first day of May, I drove them over to the park for a big May party.
A May party?
Yeah, you should have seen all them kids. They looked so cute as they danced around me.
Dance around you. Didn't they have a maypole?
Yeah, but I was prettier.
Let me sit down with you, Dennis. I'm seasick, too. Phil, you should have seen Mary's letter from her mother.
Nice, huh?
Yeah, she wrote the letter stuttering. She wrote it that way. Well, look at Phil. You know, between you and Remley, I've never seen...
Wait a minute, Jackson. Hold it, Dad.
What?
Just a minute, Bud. I don't care what you say about me, but don't pick on Remley.
Phil, calm down.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Well, may as well tell you why I've always tried to protect Remley.
What?
Well, you see, I promised Frankie's poor old mother that I'd always look after him.
Oh. When was that?
When she threw him out of the house. And I don't like to brag, Jackson, but I've taken pretty good care of Frankie during all these years.
By the way, Phil, it's none of my business, but how much do you pay Frankie?
Well, I don't give him no regular salary. I just take care of his needs, like room, board, and bail.
Oh, fine.
Say, Jackson, before I go, there was something I wanted to ask you. Oh, yeah, look, last week you told me you were going to buy a new car. What kind did you get?
I didn't get any, Phil, but I may get a new one this summer.
Well, look, be sure you get one of them new models that comes equipped with the Dynaflex Superflowing Unijet Turbo Vasculator, which is synchro-meshed with the multi-coil, hydro-tension, duo-vacuum dynomotor. They come in the motor and fodder model.
Well, outside of that last word, listen, that was amazing. I mean, how'd you ever say that?
A Harvard man fixes my teeth. Well, I gotta be leaving. So long, kid.
So long, Phil.
Hey, folks, I'm leaving. You want to throw just one more on me?
Phil, get out of here! Oh, boy, what a character.
You know, Jack, Phil is conceited.
Conceited? Mary, you should have heard the things he told me yesterday while I was giving him a Tony. Now, where were we?
Well, you were casting the play we're going to do.
Oh, yes, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Now, Don, you're going to be my partner when we go hunting for gold. And, Dennis, you're going to be the old prospector, the part that was played by Walter Houston. And let's see, where's Mel Blanc?
Here I am, Jack.
Folks, it's Mel Blanc. Give him a big hand.
Jack, we're all going to be in the play. Why don't you just give him applause?
Well, Mary, I have to. It's in his contract, you know.
You mean you give him money and applause, too?
No money, just applause. It's amazing, you know, how much you can save when you got a lot of hands working for you. Now, Mel, you're going to be the leader of the Mexican bandits. And, oh, yes, Dennis, besides being the old prospector, you'll come in later as one of the bandits.
Gee, 2 parts. It's hard to believe I can sing, too.
Yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our version of Warner Brothers' thrilling adventure story, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
As our scene opens, it's a hot, humid, sultry day, and a lonely, hungry, penniless American is roaming the streets of Tampico, Mexico.
Walking. That's all I've been doing for 2 whole days. Just walking. No place to sleep. Nothing to eat. Nothing to drink. Well, I'll see what I can do in this saloon. Gee, this place is crowded. Hey, bartender.
Si, senor. What will you have?
Give me 3 fingers.
3 fingers of what?
Just 3 fingers. I'm hungry. Give me 3 fingers of anything. If I don't get something to eat pretty soon, I'll go crazy.
Hi, big boy.
Huh?
It's good to see an American down here, even though you do need a shave and your clothes are torn. You look like a derelict. What's the matter?
It's a long story. I used to be a famous radio comedian. I had a big house, a swimming pool, and everything. And all of a sudden, I'm a bum.
What happened?
Television.
Television? What's that?
I don't know, but the wrestlers have all the good writers. Anyway, let's not talk about me. What's a girl like you doing way down here in Mexico?
I work in the Tampico branch of the Make Company.
They have a branch in Mexico?
Yeah, I'm in the Jose department.
That's better than your mother's letter. Well, look, sister. How about you and me?
Hey, Bogey. I've been looking all over town for you.
Who's your friend?
That's my partner, Curtin. Sam Curtin. He and I came down here looking for gold.
Yeah, gold. Every time I think of it, I go crazy. Gold! Gold! I can see it now. There it is. There it is. It's mine. It's mine. Gold! Gold!
Put that back. That's my pivot tool. You know, sister, he goes crazy every time he thinks of gold.
Well, doesn't gold mean anything to you?
Yeah. I can take it or love it. I mean, leave it.
Well, if you boys are interested in looking for gold, there's an old prospector around here who knows every foot of the Sierra Madre. If you can get him to go with you, you'll strike it rich.
Where does the old prospector live?
Well, you can't miss it. You go right down Flamingo Road.
Flamingo Road. Flamingo Road. Flamingo Road.
Are you stuttering?
No, but I promised Warner Brothers I'd mention it 3 times. Come on, Curtin. Let's go. Hey, Curtin, this must be the house where the old prospector lives.
Yeah, knock on the door.
Okay.
Howdy, Bub.
Hello, old-timer. My name is Humphrey Bogey. What's yours?
Titus Houston.
Yeah, well, we've heard that you know all about the gold in the Sierra Madre, and we thought maybe you'd come up into the mountains with us.
Sorry, son, but I'm too old for that now. There was a time when I used to go up into them hills and stay for months and months at a time. Then it would get me. I was only human, you know. I'd have to come back, be back in town with a load of gold, and in a couple of nights I'd blow it all in.
Women, eh?
No Kleenex. I got hay fever.
Well, look, old-timer, if you won't go with us, maybe you can tell us where we can find the gold.
Sure. Here's a map of old Mexico. See? You can't go wrong. You take the main road through Tampico till you pass El Paso. After you pass El Paso, you go through El Truo and turn left at El Lefto.
What if we turn El Righto?
That's El Wrongo.
Is that where the gold is?
Nope. That's where you buy your burros.
Burros?
Yep, there's a place right on the corner. Madman Hernandez.
And he'll sell them to us?
Yep, but you'll have to carry an awful lot of water for them.
Why?
Hernandez wanted his burros to look like Buicks, so he cut holes in their sides.
Oh, well, we got to be getting along, old-timer. You sure you don't want to come with us?
Nope, but I'll see you later.
You will?
Yep, I come back on page 12 as a Mexican bandit.
Well, come on, Curtin. Let's go.
What's the matter, Bogey? You look unhappy.
Well, why shouldn't I be? We've got the map. We know where the gold is, but we can't get it because we don't have any money to buy equipment.
Oh, senor.
Huh?
In there, in the saloon, there is a telephone call for you. In there, for you. In the saloon, in there.
Huh?
For you.
For me?
In there.
Is it an important call? Gee, an important call.
For you.
A telephone call for me. Who could it be? I'm 2,000 miles away from home. Well, I might as well find out. Come on, Curtin. Wait for me at the bar, Curtin. I'll answer the phone.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah, speaking. Huh? Sure, I can answer that. The Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock in 1620. Thank you. Goodbye. Hey, Curtin!
What's up, Bogey?
We got the burros, the picks, the shovels, the sleeping bags, and a refrigerator.
Where'd you get them?
That phone call. I just won them on a quiz program. Tacos or leave it.
Good. Now let's go and find that gold.
All right, before we go, I want to buy drinks for the house. Okay, everybody. The drinks are on me. Come on, everybody, up to the bar.
Hey, Bogey, those 4 Mexicans just came in waving at you.
Where? Oh, yeah. Buenos dias, amigos. Come on, boys, I'll pay for it. Let's have a song.
Tampico, Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico. Tampico, Tampico, that's the place for you to go. Feeling low, feeling tense, DJ perfect common sense. Okay, lucky like Tibet, you will feel your level best. From Sonora to Monte del Vista, there's a lucky in everyone's sister, and they treat every distance and distance. My uncle, my aunt, and my sister. Feeling low, feeling tense, smoke a lucky, and you'll always be feeling your best. Best. Level best.
You know, Curtin, we've been digging in these mountains for weeks, but it was worth it. We got 10 sacks of gold.
Yeah, 10 more sacks, and then we...
Wait a minute. Look, coming up the trail. Mexican bandits. Curtin, quick, take out your gun.
But I haven't got a gun.
What? What did you say, Curtin?
I haven't got a gun.
Ah, that's ridiculous. Who ever heard of a curtain without a rod? Thank you. Hey, that was pretty...
Quiet. Here they come now.
Oh, yeah. Look, Curtin, they're getting off their horses. They're walking this way. Well, we'll just have to try and bluff them. Hey, you. Come here. Are you a Mexican bandit?
Si.
I suppose your men are tough.
Si.
I guess they would kill us at a drop of a hat.
Si.
What's your name?
Sai.
Sai?
Si.
Now, look, Steve. Sai. We don't have anything you want. We're hunters. That's all we are.
You do not fool me. You have some gold and we want it. If you don't give it to us, we will kill you.
I think. Look, me and my partner have been out in these mountains for 3 months. Yeah, we found some gold. But don't take all of it. Let us keep half. That's a fair proposition, isn't it? We'll give you half.
I will talk it over with my lieutenant. Oh, Henry Sierra.
Coming, Madre. What is it, El Capitan?
The gentleman here with the gold had made a proposition.
Oh, sí. What is it?
Estas personas dicen que si no los matamos, ellos nos darán la mitad del oro.
Si los matamos, tendríamos que cagar con todo. Por lo tanto, con ya usted el oro y matarlos después.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said you better give us the gold because these 8 guns make common sense.
What?
When these guns are smoking, you ain't lucky.
No, Bandido. Please don't shoot us. We'll give you the gold.
El Capitan, if we take the gold, we will need a burro.
Sí, we will take the little burro. It is equipped with the Dynaflex Superflowing Unijet Turbo Vasculator, which is synchromesh with the multi-coil aerotension dual vacuum dynamometer, I think.
Look, Bandido, take our gold. Take our burros, but don't kill us.
I will tell you what I do, senor. I give you a fighting chance. Here's a weapon for you and a weapon for me.
What?
You count to 10, and may the best hombre win.
All right. All right, I'll count to 10. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, not yet. 4, 5, 6. Ooh, wait a minute. 7, 8. Ooh, you're cheating. I think. 9, 10. You missed me. That's better.
Oh! Fogey, when he started shooting, why didn't you shoot back?
I couldn't. He gave me a knife. Goodbye, Curtly.
Ladies and gentlemen, your life, your property can be lost through fire. Don't let it happen in your home, in public places, or in the country. Be careful. Be on guard against fire. Prevent fires in your community. Thank you. Jack will be back in just a moment, but first... Feeling low.
Feeling tense.
Please take words are common sense.
Smoke a lucky.
To feel your level best.
Smoke a lucky.
To feel your level best.
To feel your level best, smoke a Lucky. For it's a fact that Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense. It's important to know that fine tobacco can do this for you. And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Light, ripe, naturally mild tobacco. No wonder more independent tobacco experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen smoke Lucky Strike regularly than the next 2 leading brands combined. So when you choose your cigarette, remember Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense. Put you on the right level to feel and do your level best. Yes, be sure to make your next carton of cigarettes Lucky Strike.
Smoke a lucky.
To be your level best.
Smoke a lucky.
To be your level best.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes another program, and we'll be with you again next
Jack.
Sunday night when we... Huh?
Jack,
What?
while you were doing the sketch, a wire came for you from Humphrey Bogart.
From who?
Humphrey Bogart.
Not from Humphrey Bogart? Mary, what's the matter with you today? A wire came to me from Humphrey Bogart?
Yes.
Well, read it to me.
This wire you don't read. You twist it around your neck.
Well, good night, folks.
Be sure to hear Dennis Day in a day in the life of Dennis Day. Stay tuned for the Amos and Andy Show, which follows immediately. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. Feeling low.
Feeling tense. These safe words are common sense.
Smoke a Lucky.
To be a level test.
Smoke a Lucky.
To be a level test.
Millions of smokers are learning that Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense. That's what fine tobacco can do for you. And LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, puff by puff, pack by pack, you'll really enjoy this fine, light, naturally mild Lucky Strike tobacco. And you'll agree that Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike, and get on the lucky level where you feel and do your level best. Yes, smoke a Lucky to feel your level best.
The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, on last Sunday's broadcast, we presented our version of the great Warner Brothers picture, The Treasure of Sierra Madre. Immediately after that, the orchestra played our theme song. As we went off the air, here's exactly what happened.
All right, Phil, hold it. Phil, hold it. We're off the air. Tell your boys to stop.
Hey, that's enough, fellas. Stop. Cut. Quit already. All right, boys, go home. Stop it.
Sammy, stop. Now, look, I don't want anybody to leave the stage. I want to talk to the entire cast.
Is there anything wrong, Mr. Benny?
Yes, there's plenty wrong, Dennis. Now, look, I don't want to get mad. I don't want to lose my temper. But the broadcast we just finished was one of the sloppiest shows I've ever heard. Everyone fluffing their lines, missing their cues.
Well, all right, Jack. It's over. Let's forget it.
We won't forget it, Mary. In fact, I want to talk to you first.
To me?
Yes. I can't understand what happened to you when you read your mother's letter. I haven't heard you get words so mixed up since that time in the restaurant when you ordered a chis sui sandwich. No, really, it was awful.
Well, I'm sorry, Jack, but I just couldn't help it. Yesterday, the dentist put a new gold crown on one of my teeth, and it bothers me when I speak.
Look, Mary, I don't want any excuses. I'm just telling you that a gold crown?
Yes.
What happened to your old one?
You kissed me, and it melted.
Gee, I didn't know. Oh, don't be funny. And now for you, Phil. During the program, you made a mistake that almost ruined a big laugh.
I did?
Yes. You were supposed... Look, Phil, you were supposed to say that your new car came equipped with a Dynaflex superflowing Unijet turbovasculator, which is synchromesh with the multi-coil hydrotension dual vacuum dynamometer.
Uh-huh.
But instead of that, Phil, you said your new car came equipped with a Dynaflex superflowing Unijet turbovasculator, which is synchromesh with a multi-coil hydrotension dual vacuum dynamometer. Imagine dynamometer.
I said that?
You certainly did.
Holy smoke, and I stayed on the wagon all week to get that line right.
Well, I'll give you one more chance, Bill. Read it now.
Jackson, I wouldn't read that line again if you named me in your will.
A will? What's that?
That's when you leave your money to somebody.
Whoever started a silly thing like that? Now, let's see. Who else made a mistake? Oh, yes, Dennis.
Go ahead, whip me, beat me, torture me, but I'll carry on. Laugh, clown, laugh.
Dennis, stop that!
Okay. Did I do something wrong on today's show, Mr. Benny?
Yes, you did, Dennis. In our sketch, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, I let you play 2 parts, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
But when you played the old prospector, you put in a line that wasn't even in the script.
Yes, sir.
You said, so long, I'll see you on page 12 when I come back as a Mexican bandit. Didn't you?
Si, senor.
Now, if it wasn't in the script, why did you say you were coming back later?
Well, my mother was listening, and I didn't want her to tune out.
Wait a minute. You mean your mother only listens to the part of the program that you're on?
Yeah, she thinks you're awful.
Look, Dennis.
She said if you didn't have the mortgage on our house, she'd slap your silly face.
All right. I didn't keep you here to discuss my real estate holdings. The point I'm trying to make is this. If there's going to be any more ad-libbing on this program, I'll be the one to do it.
Oh, fine.
What?
You couldn't ad-lib their off if you were at the Kentucky Derby and your suspenders broke.
Suspenders broke. Mary, don't be so smart. You can be replaced, you know. There are plenty of other girls in the May Company that can read lines. Now, kids, I wasn't bawling you out. I just wanted you to be a little more careful.
Well, Jack, you didn't say anything to me. Does that mean I read my lines right?
Yes, Don, you read your lines perfectly. But I do have one little complaint about the way you stand on the stage.
What do you mean?
Well, when the Sportsman Quartet came on to do their number, you were standing in front of the microphone blocking them. Now, you should have stepped aside.
But, Jack, I did step aside.
No, Don. The part that had legs stepped aside. The rest of you stayed. Now, watch it next time, pear-shaped.
Hey, gang, how about all of us going over to the drugstore for a sandwich? That is, if Mr. Benny has concluded the chastisement of his fellow thespians.
Phil, did that come out of you?
Certainly. What's so unusual about me knowing words of more than one cylinder?
That's Philip! A cylinder is something round and hollow, like your head. Now, kids, you go to the drugstore, and I'll meet you later. I got to go to my dressing room and change. See, I hated to ball them out, but I just had to. I hope I wasn't too harsh with them. Especially Phil. He's so sensitive. Oh, hello, Rochester.
Oh, hello, boss.
I didn't know you were in my dressing room. What are you doing with that typewriter?
Just what you told me to do. I'm making out the weekly payroll.
Oh, yes. You go ahead and finish while I change clothes.
Yes, sir. Mary Livingston. And 40 cents.
Oh, Rochester, where are my shoes?
Under the couch. Bill Harris. And 30 cents.
I don't see my shoes. Oh, yes, here they are.
Don Wilson. And 50 cents. Rochester Van Jones. And 12 cents.
Say, Rochester, have you made out Dennis Day's salary check yet?
No, boss, I'm just coming to it.
Oh, good. I want you to add $2 to Dennis's check.
Well, that's nice. Did you give him a raise?
No, we burned one of his shirts ironing it. So while you're at it, deduct $1 from your check and $1 from mine. Next time we won't be so careless. By the way, Rochester, did you have the radio on? Were you listening to my program? What'd you think of it?
We better stop burning shirts.
You're right, Rochester. Well, I'm all dressed. Step aside, please. I want to use the mirror.
Okay. Here's your comb, boss.
Thanks.
Here's your hair.
Thanks. Gee, I look tall.
Take the old one off first.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going, Rochester. And before you leave, hang my clothes up in the closet, will you, please?
Yes, sir.
You know, it was nice of CBS to pick up this dressing room for me and put in all this plumbing.
Boss, the plumbing was here. They just built the dressing room around it.
Oh, then I guess the whisk room was left over, too. Well, see you later, Rochester.
So long.
Uh-oh. Rochester, while you're at the typewriter, I wish you'd jot down the words, "they're off."
They're off. What's that, boss?
It's something I want to ad-lib in case my suspenders ever break at the Kentucky Derby. So long.
Oh, boss.
What is it, Rochester?
I forgot to tell you while you were on the air, Mr. Hooper called.
Hooper? You tell him you were listening to my program?
He didn't care about that. He called about his shirts.
Oh, well, they won't be ready till Monday. Gee, I remember the time I burned Mr. Hooper's shirt. My rating went down to 9.2. Or was it 2.9? Oh, well, that was weeks ago. Now my rating is back to 11. Or is it 1.1? Oh, well.
Oh, Jack.
Huh? Where are you, Don?
Well, here in my dressing room with the quartet.
Oh. I thought you went over to the drugstore with the gang.
Oh, the boys and I are just playing a little gin rummy.
Oh, hello, fellas.
Say, Jack, I'm terribly sorry there were so many mistakes made on the program today.
Well, I am too, Don, and frankly, I haven't been so upset after a broadcast in years.
Well, mistakes can happen. Don't let it bother you.
I know, Don, but my whole gang has been with me for years. There's no excuse for such carelessness. I really was burned up.
Well, Jack, the next time there's anything that upsets you, there's only one thing to do.
What's that?
Tell him, boys.
Powder your face with sunshine. Put on a great big smile. Fill those blue eyes with laughter.
I'm not mad, fellas.
We'll be laughing with you in a little while.
Look, I'm over it already.
Face with Lucky. They always are in style. Get on that level. That Lucky level. Smile.
Look, I'm smiling.
Face with Lucky.
I'm not worried.
Never feel low or tense. They're made of fine tobacco, and you will find that all these words make common sense. Dynaflex super flowing.
What?
Hydromesh Unijet.
Boy, look.
And did we mention that hydrotension?
Yes. I bet that's not in the song.
Turbovasculator. Dynamometer.
That's dynamometer. Boy, the commercial.
That Lucky level, so smile.
Well, thanks, Don. Thanks. I feel better already. Well, see you later, fellas. The gang is waiting for me at the drugstore.
Drugstore's always so crowded.
Yeah, but they know me here. We'll get served right away. Watch. I prepared this as soon as you came in, Mr. Harris. Here's your Broma Seltzer. Thanks. Shall I put 2 straws in it, or isn't Mr. Emily with you? Now, wait a minute, Bud. I don't want no Bromo Seltzer.
Oh, I'll drink it.
Dennis, why do you need a bromo?
I went to a party last night, Liv.
A party?
Boy, oh boy, did we have fun. We played spin the bottle, post office, hide and go seek, and sister, did I get stiff.
What?
I hid in the deep freeze and nobody found me.
If you folks would like to sit at the counter, there are 3 empty seats now. The waiter will take care of you.
Oh, yeah.
Come along, Miss Livingstone.
Just a minute, Phil. I'm buying a magazine.
Okay, I'll go over and hold this seat. Here's your change, miss.
Oh, thank you. Come on, Dennis.
Oh, just a minute, Mary. I'm weighing myself. Oh, boy, look at this little card that came out.
Well, what does the card say?
Go to the races. You may get hot at Hollywood Park.
Oh, Dennis. Come on.
Right over here, Livy.
Say, Phil, look. There's an article in this Cosmopolitan about Jack, and it's written by Eddie Cantor.
No kidding. What does it say?
Oh, just this opening line. Contrary to the miserly character he assumes on the radio, Jack Benny in real life is the most generous man I've ever met.
Eddie Cantor wrote that about Jackson? Hey, Livy, read it again, will you?
Contrary to the miserly character he assumes on the radio, Jack Benny in real life is the most generous man I've ever met.
Let me see that magazine, baby. Contrary to the miserly character he assumes on the radio,
Phil.
Jack Benny in real life
Phil.
is the most generous man I ever met. And...
Phil.
Huh?
You got the magazine upside down.
All right, so I memorized it. But imagine anyone saying that Jackson is generous.
Well, I think Mr. Benny is very generous. When I first went to work for him, he only paid me $35 a week.
What are you getting now?
37.
Oh, it gave you a raise.
No, he burned one of my shirts.
Oh, Dennis, what are you...
Uh-oh, I gotta leave you, kid. There's Remley.
Well, I didn't know Remley had a car.
That ain't no car. He's got a cold. So long, kid. I'll see you.
Say, Dennis, let's look at the menu so we can... Dennis, where is that kid? Dennis!
Oh, I'm over here by the jukebox. Would you like to hear my recording of Little Mother of Mine?
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay.
Sometimes in the hush of evening hour, when shadows creep from the west, I think of the twilight songs you sang, and the boy you loved to rest. A wee little boy with tousled head, that long, long ago was thine. I wonder if sometimes you long for that boy. Oh, little mother of mine. And now he has come to man's estate, grown stalwart in body and strong. You'd hardly know that he was the lad you loved with your slumber song. The years have altered the form and the life, but the heart is unchanged by time, and still he's only your boy as of old. Oh, little mother of mine, oh, little mother
rather nice record, Dennis. I liked it very much.
So did everybody in the drugstore. They all applauded.
Yeah, they all applauded. Here I am, kids. Did you order yet?
Oh, not yet, Jack. We're waiting for you.
Oh, good. I'll get the menu. Oh, waiter. May we have a menu, please?
Certainly. Here you are.
Thanks. Now, let's see. Oh, waiter, why have you got all those steering wheels attached to the counter?
Those are for people who like to eat in drive-ins and can't afford cars.
Cars?
The one on the end is a convertible.
What?
If you press the button, the roof comes down.
Oh, be quiet! Why do I always run into this crazy guy? I don't know what I want to eat. Dennis, what are you going to order?
A hamburger sandwich and check my oil.
Dennis, stop going along with the waiter. Now, let's see. What do I want?
Yeah, are you people going to order, or are you waiting for the floor show?
A floor show in the drugstore?
Yes, at 8 o'clock, Dr. Scholl comes out and does a fan dance with 2 foot pads.
Dr. Scholl?
He's corny, but he's good.
Just take our orders, and that's all. We'll have 3 hamburgers. Now, go get them.
Oh, wait a minute, Jack. I don't want a hamburger.
Well, you can have anything you like. What do you want?
A chick-sweet sandwich.
I knew it. Stop yelling at the girl. We make wonderful chip sweet sandwiches.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, then I'll try a chip squeeze sandwich.
Would you like me to trim the truss?
Trim the truss. I don't know why I ever come in this place. The service is awful. The waiter's so... Oh, for heaven's sake, look at that. Waiter, come back here.
Now what?
Now what? Look at this glass. There's lipstick on it.
Well, there's water in it. Wash it off.
Wash it off yourself. You know, Mary, I've never seen such a fresh waiter in all my life.
Hey, mister, would you mind moving your elbow so I can get the sugar?
I don't know why I came in here anyway. We never can get a booth. We always have to sit at the counter.
Mister, would you move your elbow so I can get the sugar?
Believe me, Mary, it's the last time I'm ever
Hey,
going...
look, Bud, I'm trying to get the sugar.
What?
Would you mind lifting your blockade, or do I have to wait till May the 12th?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here you are. Now, Mary, as soon as we...
Jack, look who just came in.
Who? Well, what do you know? Eddie Tanner. Eddie, come here.
Hiya, Jack. Hello, Mary.
Well, sit down, Eddie. Have a sandwich or something.
Thanks, Jack.
Eddie, you know Dennis Day.
Sure. Hello, Dennis.
Well, Eddie Camper, how do you do?
Now, Dennis, stop. Come on, Eddie. What are you going to have?
Well, I'm not very hungry, but waiter, I'll have a sandwich, chicken sandwich and an ice cream soda.
Very good, sir. What flavor?
The usual, a glass of Pabst Blue Ribbon with a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Eddie, ice cream and beer, isn't that an odd combination?
Look, Jack, do I say anything when you break 6 lucky strikes into a bowl and call it the breakfast of champions?
Well, to each his own, I guess.
Say, Eddie, that was a nice article you wrote about Jack in the Cosmopolitan.
It certainly was, Eddie, and I want to thank you. It was a very honest piece.
I'm glad you liked it, Jack. Did you read the part where I said, contrary to the miserly character he assumes on the radio, Jack Benny in real life is the most generous man I've ever met?
Yes, I did, Eddie, and only a man like you, who has known me all my life, can appreciate the finer side of my character.
Hey, Mary, you want to split a Broma Seltzer?
No, my head's all right. It's my stomach that bothers me.
Mary, please.
Mary, you may think I'm exaggerating about Jack's generosity, but I'll never forget that day in 1928
when he first played the Palace Theater in New York. After the opening performance, Jack walked into Lindy's restaurant and yelled, "Okay, fellas, I'll buy drinks for everybody."
Buy drinks in 1928? Prohibition wasn't repealed till 1933.
Jack was willing to wait.
Yeah. Here are your orders. Will there be anything else?
No, thanks.
That'll be all.
Say, Eddie, speaking of the Palace in New York, remember the fun we used to have in vaudeville together?
Oh, yes, Jack. Remember the time?
What, Eddie? What?
Remember the time you made a blind date over the phone and you asked the girl if she could bring a friend from me? And she said yes, she'd bring her sister?
Yeah.
Did she bring her sister?
She had to. They were Siamese twins.
Yeah, they were in vaudeville, too. They had a great act. Their names were Doris and Dorothy Ace. They were billed as aces back to back.
Dennis, I'll have that bromo seltzer now.
Gosh, Eddie, those were the days. Good old boy. We used to see a lot of each other then.
Oh, yeah. Say, look, Jack, why don't you and Mary come over to my house for dinner next Saturday night?
Oh, I'd love to, Eddie.
Me, too.
Good. You see, it's my birthday, and we're having a few friends over.
Your birthday, eh? How old are you going to be, Eddie? No, come on, Eddie. Tell me. What's the difference? How old are you going to be?
How old am I going to be? What's the use of kidding, Jack? Everyone else I can lie to, but not you. You know my right age. You know I'm even older than you.
Well, I know, but how old are you going to be?
40.
Well, me next. Say, Eddie, I was just wondering, how old, now this is just between you and me, you know, how old do you think Al Jolson is?
I don't know, but Ida is his daughter.
No kidding.
Well, I've got to run along, Jack. Oh, waiter.
Yes.
My check, please.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Eddie. Get your hand out of your pocket.
Huh?
I asked you to sit here. This is on me.
No, Jack. You were here already, and I horned in. Waiter, give me my check.
Oh, no, you don't. Look, Eddie, we've been friends for years. You wrote this wonderful article about me, and now you want to spoil the whole thing. Waiter, how much is Mr. Cantor's check?
It's 65 cents.
After all, Eddie, 65 cents? For what? All we had was a chicken sandwich and a glass of beer.
Jack, I'll pay for
You
it.
will not. He wrote the article about me. Now, look, waiter, how can this bill be 65 cents? All he had was a chicken sandwich and a glass of beer.
If he had the beer, why are you foaming at the mouth?
You keep out of this. Now, waiter, this is outrageous. It's highway robbery.
Jack, don't make a scene. Let me have the check, for heaven's sake.
I will not. You're my guest. All right, waiter, it's a holdup, but I'll pay it. Can you change a $50 bill?
I can change it.
You shut up!
Jack, it's me, Eddie, the one who wrote all those nice things about you. Like I said in my article, Jack Benny is the most generous man
You can stop with that already, too. I don't mind being generous, Eddie, but when you first came in here, you said you weren't hungry. Then you sat here and stuffed yourself. And ran up a 65-cent bill. Well, flattery won't get you anywhere, Mr. Cantor. Here's your check. Come on, Mary, let's go.
But Jack! How do you like that guy? He's gone. Well, I'm glad. Waiter, how much did you say that check was? 65 cents?
No, it's $3.25.
What?
He didn't pay his either.
Well, this is a fine how do you do.
How do you do?
Shut up!
Jack, we'll be back in just a moment, but first...
Feeling low.
Feeling tense. These great words are common sense.
Smoke a lucky.
To be your level set.
Smoke a lucky.
To be your level set.
To feel your level best, smoke a Lucky. For Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense. It's important to know that fine tobacco can do this for you. And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, LSMFT, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Light, right, naturally mild tobacco. No wonder more independent tobacco experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen smoke Lucky Strike regularly than the next two leading brands combined. So when you choose your cigarette, remember, Lucky's fine tobacco picks you up when you're low, calms you down when you're tense, puts you on the right level to feel and do your level best. Yes, be sure to make your next carton of cigarettes Lucky Strike. Smoke a Lucky to be a level set. Smoke a Lucky to be a level set.
Happy Mother's Day and good night, everybody.
Be sure to hear Dennis Day and a day in the life of Dennis Day. Stay tuned in for the Amos and Andy Show, which follows immediately. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. In a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. And LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Remember what happens at the tobacco auction. Year after year, at market after market, independent tobacco experts present at the auctions can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco. Just listen to what Mr. James W. Adams, for 22 years an independent tobacco warehouseman of South Boston, Virginia, recently said about the fine tobacco he's seen bought by the makers of Lucky Strike.
I've been a tobacco warehouseman for 22 years, and down through the years I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine tobacco, real quality tobacco, the kind of tobacco that's bound to give a good smoke. For 15 years, Lucky's have been my regular smoke.
So for your own real deep-down smoking enjoyment, take a tip from the experts and light up a Lucky. Light up a really fine cigarette. Puff by puff, you'll see. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go out to Jack's home in Beverly Hills. Jack and Rochester are puttering around the kitchen, and at the moment they're defrosting and cleaning out their refrigerator.
Well, it's all wiped out, Rochester. Now put the butter back first.
Yes, sir. Say, boss, what do you want me to do with this leftover roast beef?
Save it. We'll make hash out of it.
How about this leg of lamb we had last Thursday?
Save that, too. We'll make hash out of it.
What shall I do with this leftover roast pork?
Save it. We'll make hash out of that, too.
What shall I do with this 30 pounds of leftover hash?
Save it. We'll make stew out of it.
Thought I had you that time.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What's in that?
What's in what?
In that round, flat can in the freezing compartment.
Oh, I just put that in there since the weather got hot.
What is it?
The film of the horn blows at midnight.
Well, take it out. And put it in this package. I want to store it there all summer.
Hey, that's a mighty big package. What's in it?
Miss Livingston's fur coat. I made her a better deal than I.J. Fox. Well, that's about all, Rochester. You can close the refrigerator.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Rochester, open the refrigerator again. I want to take out some ham for a sandwich.
It's too late, boss. The time lock is set for tomorrow morning.
Gee, I'm so hungry. Oh, by the way, Professor LeBlanc is coming over pretty soon to give me a violin lesson. So I better...
I'll get it, boss. Mr. Benny's residence, star of stage, screen, radio, and remember our slogan. During the summer, you can save some cash by storing your furs right next to our hash.
Hello, may I speak to Mr. Jack Benny, please?
Just a moment, miss. It's for you, boss.
Thanks. Hello?
Mr. Benny, this is Betty Stewart of the Associated Press.
Associated Press?
Yes. Last week in a press interview, Fred Allen said that if you're as bad on television as you are on radio, people will receive your program on a 10-inch airway.
Fred Allen said that, huh?
Yes. Now, the Associated Press wants to know if you'd like to make any comment about Mr. Allen.
I certainly would. Put a man on the phone.
Oh, that's quite all right, Mr. Betty. I'm used to that kind of language. I used to work in a bingo parlor.
Oh.
Now, do you have anything you'd like to say about Mr. Allen?
Yes, you can quote me as saying the reason Fred Allen doesn't go on television is because he doesn't want to spoil an illusion.
An illusion?
Yes. On the radio, everybody thinks he's alive. Unquote. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Who was that, boss?
The Associated Press.
One of our competitors?
No, Roger, that's a newspaper. They don't press clothes. They gather news for all the... Come in. Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Jackson. What'd you say, Chester?
Hello, Mr. Harris.
Phil, what are you doing around here?
Well, Jackson, there's something I want to talk to you about.
Oh, what is it?
Well, I'd like to talk to you alone.
Roger, would you mind leaving the room?
Okay.
What do you want to talk to me about, Phil?
Close the other door, will you?
Sure. What is it, Phil?
Jackson, I want to borrow some money.
Money? How much?
$2,000.
You know, Phil. You know, Phil, life is funny. You know, if we were doing a radio program now and you came in and asked me for $2,000, I'd have to turn you down with a joke.
Yeah.
But now we're not on the radio, so I can turn you down without a joke. Isn't life funny?
But, Jackson, now, wait a minute. You can't turn me down. I gotta have $2,000.
So what in the world do you need all that money for?
Well, after we go off the air this summer, I'm going on tour with my orchestra.
On tour?
Yeah, we're going to go to Texas, then Louisiana, then through Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia.
Why are you only going through the South?
Look, Dad, I only know one song, and I ain't taking no chances.
Well, Phil, what do you need the $2,000 for? I mean, traveling expenses?
No, that's all taken care of. But I promised all my boys I'd buy them new tuxedos.
Well, it's about time. At least they'll look nice while they're playing.
Oh, no, they ain't going to wear them on the bandstand. They're going to use them to pick up extra money during the daytime.
Tuxedos in the daytime?
Yeah, they double as pallbearers.
No.
Sure. And Remley's in great demand.
Remley as a pallbearer? Why?
Both of his arms are on the same side.
Funny, I never noticed that while he was playing the guitar. Well, look, Phil, I'd like to lend you the money, but...
Now, wait a minute, Jackson. Wait a minute. Now, I'm not asking this as a friend. I'm willing to make it a regular business deal. I'll sign papers and everything.
No. Well, would you be willing to put up security?
Yeah, but not like the last time. We missed the kid.
All right, Phil, you don't have to put up security. Just sign the papers as usual. Oh, Rochester!
What is it, boss?
Mr. Harris is going to sign a legal agreement. Bring me a sheet of paper, a pen, and a sharp knife.
Yes, sir.
All right, Phil, roll up your sleeve.
Oh, Jackson, can I sign an ink this time?
Well, okay, you've been with me a long time. I'll go down to my vault to get the money. You write out an IOU.
A what?
An IOU.
How you spell it?
Rochester will show you. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going down to the vault. Gee, those sharks in the motor. So playful. I hope the drawbridge is strong.
Who goes there, friend or foe?
Friend.
What's the password?
You can take it with you.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Benny.
Yes. How are you, Ed?
Fine, fine. Glad you came down, Mr. Benny. I haven't had a chance to thank you for my Christmas present.
Did you like it, Ed?
It's the nicest calendar I ever had.
Good, good. And Ed, isn't that a pretty picture on it?
Yes. What is it?
It's a girl.
Oh. And what's that thing she's holding?
Oh, that's a telephone.
Oh. That's a girl and that's a telephone.
Yes. It was invented in 1876.
The girl?
No. The telephone.
Oh.
Now, excuse me, Ed. I'd like to open the safe.
Should I commit suicide?
No, Ed. Just close your eyes. That's all. Now, let's see. Right to 45. Left to 60. Back to 15. And left to 110. There. That reminds me, I must ask Phil what he's going to play on the program. Now, let's see. Phil wants $2,000. I'll take $2 from my violin teacher. And I better take an extra $5. I may go to Las Vegas for the weekend. There. Well, goodbye, Ed. Take care of yourself.
I will. Oh, by the way, Mr. Benny, would you mind mailing this letter for me?
No, not at all.
It's very important. Would you put it on the pony yourself?
Huh? Oh, no, Ed. They take it by trains now and airplanes. I'll explain it to you later. So long, Ed.
Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Oh, Phil! Phil!
Here I am, Jackson, right over here, right in front of you.
Oh, my eyes haven't got used to the light yet. Hey, here's your money.
Thanks, Jackson. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, but don't forget, I want it back in 90 days. So long, Phil.
So long, Giannini.
Yeah, I hope Phil doesn't borrow money from me too often. He can't afford the interest. Oh, well, that's his worry.
Say, boss, while you were down the ball, Professor LeBlanc's wife called and said he wouldn't be able to come over and give you a violin lesson.
Why not?
She said he sprained his ankle and can't go out.
Oh, well, gee, I don't want to miss my lesson. I'll go over to his house. Rochester, I'll get my violin. You get the car.
You can't use the car, boss. The two front wheels are out of line.
Are they much out of line?
I think so. One's in the garage and the other's on Wilshire Boulevard.
Oh, well, then I'll take the streetcar. I'll get my violin now and... Oh, darn it, just when I'm in a hurry. Come in! Well...
Hiya, Jack.
Hoagie Carmichael. Well, Hoagie, this is quite a surprise. What brings you around here?
Well, Jack, I won't take up much of your time. I just thought maybe you'd like to buy a song.
Buy a song?
Mm-hmm.
What's a man like you, Hoagie Carmichael, going around from door to door selling songs?
Well, Jack, it's a long story. Remember that night 3 years ago at the Academy Awards when Sam Goldwyn called me Hugo?
Yeah.
Well, ever since then, Hugo became a sensation.
What about Hoagie?
He's a bum.
Wait a minute, don't tell me Hoagie Carmichael, the man who wrote Stardust and Old Buttermilk Sky, can't sell a song.
I can't understand it either, Jack, and I have some wonderful new ones. I just finished a beautiful love song called She Didn't Realize He Was Alive Till He Got Him Alone on Mulholland Drive.
Oh, yes, I heard that.
Then I wrote another one called I Bought a Television Set for My Girl, and Now She's in Love with Milton Berle.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, then I wrote another song that was very topical.
What's the name of it?
Everything is strictly kosher since the Giants got back Leo DeRocher.
And that song isn't popular?
It struck out on the hit parade.
Gee, that's a shame.
Yeah, I got a new one I brought along with me, and I want you to listen to it.
Well, Hoagie, what makes you think I'll be interested in it?
Well, just let me sing it for you, and you'll know the reason why. I've got the music right here.
Well, good. I'll get my violin and accompany you.
Wait a minute, Jack. It's a new song. Give it a fighting chance.
Okay. Come on, let's hear it, Hoagie.
I'm getting tired of these cattle and the herding them on a horse that's a hoping he'll die. I'm going down to a ranch and a widow named Blanche where the living is easy as pie. I'm getting tired of these tumbleweed cigarettes, tired of eating baked beans from a tin. I'm going to marry that ranch and the widow named Blanche, though I know she's as ugly as sin. Then I'll be smoking Lucky's, LSMFT and all day, with the shave and the shine and tobacco that's fine. How could I do any better, 'cause life will be just ducky and in a lazy sort of a way. I'll be boss of that ranch if I have to kiss Blanche and thank my lucky stars I met her. I'm getting tired of this dreaming about city life without a red hot scent in my jeans. I'm going down to a ranch and a widow named Blanche who is known as the Lady of Means. I'm getting tired of these mockingbirds a-mocking me when I'm a-cussing things a-biting my hide. I'm going to marry that ranch and the widow named Blanche, though I know she's 7 foot wide. Then I'll be smoking Lucky, LSMFT and all day, with the shave and the shine and tobacco that's fine. How could I ever feel keener, 'cause life will be just ducky and in a lazy sort of a way. I'll be boss of that ranch if I have to kiss Blanche to stay where the grass grows greener.
Gee, Hoagie, that was really swell. I like the way the commercial was worked in there, you know.
Thanks, Jack. Would you like to buy that song?
Well, I haven't got time to discuss it right now. You see, I've got to catch the streetcar and go take a violin lesson.
Oh.
Well, call me tomorrow, Hoagie.
Okay. So long, Jack.
So long. Rochester, I'm going to take my lesson now. I'll be home for dinner.
Step to the rear of the car, please.
Pardon me.
Hey, wait a minute, Bud.
Huh?
Did I get your fare?
Oh, my fare. Here's a transfer.
Say, you're Jack Benny, aren't you?
Yes.
You were in London, England last summer, weren't you?
Yes. Yeah, how did you know?
This transfer you gave me is from the Piccadilly Bus Company.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to give you that one. That was a mistake. Here's a dime.
Thanks.
I'll I bet you're surprised to see a celebrity like me riding a streetcar.
Nah. When they're on their way down, they save every way they can.
What?
Step to the rear of the car, please. Step to the rear of the car.
All right. Let me know when it's West 6th Street. Excuse me.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Huh?
You can sit here by me.
Oh, hello, Dennis. Where are you going?
I'm going down to the doctor's and have my appendix taken out. Where are you going?
Wait a minute. Did I hear that right? Dennis, you're going to have your appendix out?
Why not? I have an insurance policy that entitles me to an operation.
Well, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
No, it isn't. After I read my policy, I thought it would be smarter to have my appendix taken out.
Why?
It was either that or have a baby.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Dennis, what kind of insurance is this you've got anyway?
Oh, it's a good policy, Mr. Benny. It's full coverage.
Full coverage?
Yeah, if a truck runs over me, they fix the truck.
Well, let's not talk about that anymore. Mind if I read your newspaper, kid?
No, go ahead. I'm finished with it.
Thanks.
You know, they lifted the blockade in Anaheim.
I know. They lifted the blockade in Anaheim?
Yeah, they're letting in oranges from Azusa.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, let me read the paper. The pot breaks records at Preakness.
Hey, Mr. Benny, where are you going with your violin?
I want to take my lesson from Professor LeBlanc.
Oh, you're not kidding me. You're going downtown and playing some street corner.
Now, Dennis, that's silly. Would you go downtown and sing on some street corner?
I don't have to. I got 2 shows.
Oh!
Hey, celebrity, this is West 6th Street.
Hold it. This is where I get off. So long, Dennis.
Pierre.
Yes, Suzette?
Pierre, I cannot understand you. You sit there with a sprained ankle, and yet there is such a happy look on your face.
Oui, ma chérie. Because of this ankle, I do not have to give Monsieur Benny a violin lesson.
Oh. Pierre, this Monsieur Benny, he is a moving picture star, no?
Oui, he's a moving picture star, no. He is on the radio.
Oh, the radio. What program?
Oh, you know the program that starts... touche bas, touche tombe, c'est with me faire comme ça, fais-moi loquer, touchez votre égalmère, fais-moi loquer, touchez votre égalmère.
Oh, yes, I've heard that many times.
Who can that be?
Maybe it is the landlord.
No, he would not come to a dump like this.
I will see.
Oh, how do you do? Does Professor LeBlanc live here?
Oui, I am Mrs. LeBlanc.
Well, I'm Jack Denny.
Sacre bleu.
Thank you.
Suzette, who is he?
Oh, it's me, Professor. I heard what happened to you, so I came over here for my lesson.
Sacre bleu.
Thank you. Professor, how's your sprained ankle?
A dismal failure.
What?
Nothing. If you are here for a lesson, let's get it over with.
Yes. Now, Professor, when you were giving me my last lesson, what were we doing?
You were playing the Blue Danube, and I was picking up the dead flies.
No. I mean after that. Anyway, what number do you want me to play today?
The same one you have been practicing for weeks and weeks and weeks. Minuet L'Antique.
Oh, yes. Here, I'll get my violin out of the case.
Suzette, aren't you going to kiss me goodbye?
I am not going out.
You will in a minute.
Here we are. Now, just a second. I better tune up.
Does not make any difference.
Oh, yes. I have to be in tune. Now, shall I start with the minuet Lanti?
Start with anything.
Okay.
No, Mr. Benny. Every week you make the same mistake. How many times do I have to tell you it is not da-da-da-da-da-da-da?
Oh.
You have to slide. Da.
Oh, yes. I'll get it this time.
Sacre bleu.
Thank you. Too high. I'm sorry.
Pierre,
What is it, Suzette?
vous l'apprenez à jouer au violon depuis 2 ans. Je ne l'ai entendu qu'une fois, mais il est le plus mauvais joueur que j'ai entendu dans toute ma vie.
Oui.
Oh, Professor, what did she say?
It loses something in the translation, but it means you stink.
It sounds lovely in French. Shall I take it again?
Oui.
Okay. Sacre bleu.
Suzette, the baby.
I know. Quiet, Menzel, quiet.
Mr. Benny, please. The baby, stop playing.
Sacre bleu, Pierre, ne pouvez pas faire quelque chose en pour le bébé.
Mr. Benny, please. My wife is nervous. The baby is crying. I have got a sprained ankle, and you think somebody. Mr. Benny, please stop playing. Wait a minute.
Professor, why did you make me stop?
The baby's hair turned gray.
Well, I'll take my lesson some other time. Goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, during May and June, the United States Savings Bond Opportunity Drive is on. It is called the Opportunity Drive because it is truly an opportunity for you to get ahead by increasing your own personal measure of financial security and independence. If you haven't been buying savings bonds regularly, start now. Put more opportunity in your future. Invest in United States savings bonds.
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
American. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And in a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. Yes, it takes fine tobacco to make a fine smoke. And in each and every Lucky Strike, in every pack, in every carton, there's fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. No doubt about it. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And this fine Lucky Strike tobacco gives you all the real, deep-down smoking enjoyment you expect and deserve in your cigarette. So light up a Lucky. Light up a really fine cigarette and smoke that smoke of fine tobacco Lucky Strike.
So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw. So the very next time you step up to a cigarette counter, ask for a carton of Lucky Strike.
Good night, doll. Good night, everybody.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Jack Benny with Murray Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Tennessee, and yours truly, Don Wilson. As you may know, this is National Pickle Week. We'd like to honor the occasion, but since we can't bring you a pickle, we bring you a man who's a barrel of fun, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking, and Don, you certainly went a long way for that introduction, didn't you?
Oh, no, I didn't, Jack. This really is National Pickle Week.
Well, dilly.
Jack, a pickle's nothing to laugh at.
Our first joke proved your point. But as long as it is National Pickle Week, I want to say congratulations to all the Mama Pickles, Papa Pickles, and all the little boys and gherkins. Now, Don, let's get on with the...
Hello, Jack.
Oh, hello, Mary. I'm glad you got over your cold. We missed you last week.
Well, thanks. What are you and Don talking about?
What are we talking about? You mean you haven't heard?
Heard what?
All over the country, flags are flying, parades are forming, and you don't know?
No, what?
Mary, this is National Pickle Week.
Pickle?
Yeah, that's a cucumber that had its option picked up by Heinz. Hey, you know, Don's right. I am a barrel of fun. Yeah.
For this, I had to get well.
Well, you can thank me, Mary, for sending my doctor over to take care of you.
Oh, fine. Some doctor.
What are you talking about? He's an excellent physician.
Yeah, but boy, is he nearsighted.
Huh?
As he came into the house, I thought I'd save a little time. So when he walked over to me, I stuck out my tongue and he hung his hat on it.
Hung his hat on your tongue?
Then he walked over to the clothes rack and said, "Don't stand there in the corner with 3 coats on. If you're cold, get in bed."
Gee, I didn't know he was that nearsighted.
He can't hear either.
The doctor can't hear?
I said goodbye to him 4 days ago, and he's still there.
Oh, well, anyway, Mary, you're back on the program. That's all that matters. Because tonight we're going to do a very important sketch. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
I drove you down to the studio in my cab, didn't I?
Yes, you did. The fare was $1.95, and I paid you.
Well, I've been thinking about the tip.
The tip? What about it?
Look, I know this is National Pickle Week, but I'd rather have money.
You'll keep what I gave you. Goodbye. You've got a lot of nerve breaking in on my program with those silly...
Wait a minute, Jackson. Don't get mad at the cab driver. He deserves a lot of credit. The guy comes in here without a script and gets a laugh.
So what?
Well, that's the way we'll all have to do on television. No scripts, no nothing. We'll have to ad-lib our way.
Well, I won't have any trouble. I'm a barrel of fun.
I don't care if you're a barrel of bourbon. Sit down and learn.
Oh, yes, you do.
Not unless you're 100 proof. Now, look, I'll show you how television's going to be, Jackson. Hey, Livy, ask me what I did yesterday.
Okay, Phil. What'd you do yesterday?
I played golf. See, it's easy.
Well, Phil, what's funny about that?
Don't rush me. Now, come on, Liv. Ask me what happened on the first tee.
Okay, what happened on the first tee?
I drove off and hit Walter Pigeon.
Phil, what's funny about hitting Walter Pigeon?
Well, don't you get it? On my first shot, I got a birdie.
Phil, you're going to do a corny routine like that on television?
Well, that's the idea, Jackson. Milton Berle will steal it, get thrown off of television, and then there's a chance for us.
Well, I hope he steals our first 3 pages. It'll give him a running start.
Janet, Jack. I think Milton is very clever.
Oh, he is, eh?
Libby's right, Jackson. Milton is a barrel of fun. Oh, Harris, you're like a car without brakes. There ain't no stopping you.
Don't worry, folks. He'll be normal in a couple of days. Yoakum's moon will soon be over. Now, look, kids, I started to tell you that we have a very important sketch to do tonight.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, Dennis. What's that you're eating?
A pickle.
A pickle?
Yeah, cab driver gave it me in change.
Oh, well, how come you took a cab from home?
Oh, I didn't come from home. I came from the airport.
Well, Janice, have you been away?
Oh, no. A friend of mine is learning to fly, and when he got through with his lesson, I put on a parachute and he took me for a ride.
Janice, your friend is just learning to fly, and you went for a ride with him?
Uh-huh.
Weren't you afraid?
Afraid of what? We were riding in his car.
Now, wait a minute. Look, kid, if you were riding in a car, why did you wear a parachute?
In case he went up on a grease rack.
Well, I asked a question, he gave me an answer. And it wasn't bad for this late in the season.
Imagine going up on a grease rack. You know, Dennis, you're silly, but you're cute.
Yeah, you dames are all alike.
What?
You go nuts about men who live dangerously.
Dennis.
Kiss me, Liv.
Well, of all that kid gets sillier every program. By the time we go off the air... Mary! 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 Mary, why'd you do that to Dennis?
He asked for a kiss, so I gave it to him.
And it wasn't bad for this late in the season.
All right. Now, look, Janice, we got a very important sketch to do tonight, so sing your song now.
I'm a nervous wreck, but I'll try.
Oh.
There's a chapter in my life called Mary. It's the story of Mary and me. It tells with a tear in each souvenir just how sweet a love can be. In the chapter in my life called Mary are the moments that we used to share. I live to recall and treasure them all, every tender memory there. Songs that we remember, picnics by the shore, making Mary smile or sigh. Walks across the meadow, good nights at her door, till that kiss of goodbye. It's a chapter in my life called Mary, and there's heartache in each little line. It's not in a book where people may look. It's in Mary's heart and
Chapter in my life of Dennis Day called Mary, sung by Dennis Day. And very good, Dennis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight for our feature attraction, we're going to do our own original story based on those two great fight pictures, The Champion and The Setup. In this thrilling story of the Squared Circle, I'm going to play the part of... Uh-oh.
What's the matter, Jack?
The scripts. Mary, would you go to my dressing room and see if Rochester got the scripts for the play?
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh, hello
Hello, Miss Livingston.
Hello, Rochester. Mr. Benny wants to know if the scripts are ready.
Yes, here they are. I was just reading them.
Well, what are you laughing at?
It says Mr. Benny's going to play the part of a prize fighter.
Well, I don't think it's so far-fetched for Mr. Benny to be a prize fighter. After all, he does have a nice physique.
Miss Livingston, you see him with his clothes on. I undress him.
So what?
Just like eating an artichoke. You keep taking things off till you're down to nothing.
Oh, Rochester, stop making things up. Are you going to listen to the sketch?
Oh, no. While the program is on, I have to call people up and find out who their favorite comedian is.
Well, I thought Mr. Hooper did that.
We have our own system. Would you like to see how it works?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take some numbers from the telephone book. I'll start with this one. Hello, this is the Acme Radio Survey. Is your favorite comedian Jack Benny? Oh. This is the Acme Radio Survey. Is your favorite comedian Jack Benny? Oh.
Rochester, I better go.
Wait, I'll try again. This is the Acme Radio Survey. Is your favorite comedian Jack Benny?
Rochester, Mr. Benny is waiting for these scripts.
Okay, here you are, Miss Livingston. Now, let's see. I'll pick another number.
Mary, how about the script?
I've got them.
Well, hurry up now. Everyone's waiting. Don, you hand them out, will you?
All right, Jack.
Now, kids, when we do this play, I want everybody to I'll get it. Hello? The Acme Radio Survey? Yes, he is. Yes, I listen to him all the time. And now, kids... And now, kids, as I was saying... Good. Now, kids, you've all... Mary, stop looking at me. Now, kids, you've all got your script, so let's get started with the play. And now for our play. Let's go, Don.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight, we present a thrilling, dramatic story of the prize ring entitled The Champion Setup. Curtain music.
My name is Midge Benny. I'm the middleweight champion of the world. People say I'm a heel. Say I slug my own grandma. But they're wrong. Grandma's a heavyweight. My struggle to the championship was a tough one. It started 2 years ago. I was trudging along a dusty Kansas road, hitchhiking with my best friend, Bubble. Tired, Bubble?
Pretty much, Midge.
Well, we'll be in Los Angeles in a few days. I hear it's a great place. Hey, Bubble, look out. Here comes the car.
Hey, do you boys want a lift?
The car stopped in front of us. It was the latest model driven by a beautiful girl with a convertible top. I could tell by the dark part in her blonde hair. As the rays of the sun hit her golden curls, it glistened. The most beautiful hair I'd ever seen. I promised myself that when I got rich, I was going to buy some like it. There was a man sitting next to her. As Bubbles and I started to get into the car, she said,
Hop into the back seat, boys.
Thanks a lot.
Don't mention it.
Gee, that's a beautiful car. What kind is it?
Cadillac.
I thought it was a Buick. Look at all those holes in the side.
We got those in an argument with the sheriff in El Paso.
Oh.
How far are you boys going?
All the way to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, eh? I got an aunt who lives in a suburb of Los Angeles.
Glendale?
No, Tehachapi.
By the way, miss, your boyfriend doesn't seem very talkative.
He talks with his fist. He's Slugger Brown, the middleweight champ of the world.
Yeah.
We can only take you boys as far as Omaha. Slugger's fighting there tonight.
Yeah.
Are you really Slugger Brown?
Yeah.
And you're the middleweight champ?
Yeah.
You're fighting tonight in Omaha?
Yeah.
And this is the title fight?
Yeah.
36 years later, we arrived at Omaha. During the ride, I found out a lot about Slugger and his girlfriend, Dill. Her name used to be Mary, but she changed it in honor of National Pickle Week. I watched the fight that night and saw Slugger Brown collect $30,000. It was then I, Midge Benny, decided to become a prize fighter. Bubbles and I hitchhiked to Los Angeles, and I went to see the foremost fight manager in town. I stripped myself to the waist. He looked at my chest and said,
That reminds me, I'm having spare ribs for dinner.
Now, don't be funny, Mr. O'Brien. I may not look so good now, but you give me 2 or 3 months of training, I'll be a champion someday. Do you hear? A champion.
Now, wait a minute, son. Fighting is a tough game. I used to be a fighter myself, and I'll never forget my last bout. It was with Killer Nelson. I tried to slug it out with him for the first 3 rounds, and then I decided I'd better stay away from him, so I got on my bicycle. But he finally got me.
What happened?
My trunks got caught in the chain.
Oh. Then you didn't win the fight. Send 3. Now, look, Mr. O'Brien, I want to be a fighter. Will you handle me?
All right, kid. I'll be your manager. Go over to the gym and let my trainer, Punchy McNeil, get you in condition.
Bubbles and I went over to the gym, with a large, gloomy place smelling of liniment. Here in this edifice of concrete and steel, men dedicated their lives to the inhuman pursuit of angling and maiming. It was here that the beast in man overrode all human qualities. And one man would try to batter another's confidence beyond recognition for the sake of monetary reward. Gee, that new rider I got from Lux is terrific. I looking around the gym trying to find Punchy McNeil. Finally asked a man leaning against the ring.
Excuse me, mister, but I'm looking for Punchy McNeil.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, I'm Midge Benny.
I'm pleased to know you.
Now, look, Punchy, I'm trying to be a fighter. Mr. O'Brien wants you to handle me.
Okay, but you ought to think it over. Fighting is a tough racket. Yeah, I should know because I used to be a fighter myself.
No.
Yeah, I had my first fight back in 1932.
God.
Yeah, I spent 12 years in the ring.
12 years?
Yeah, but I finally came to, got up, and went home.
Well, look, Punchy, I want to...
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't finish my story.
Oh, there's more?
Yeah.
What? Oh, well, tell me, Punchy. Were you always a fighter?
Oh, no, I used to be a musician with Guy Lombardo's band.
Go on, you were never with Lombardo.
Oh, yes? Yes. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Yes.
You're a little flat on that last...
Hey, come on, Mitch. Let's start training.
2 weeks later, I won my first fight. A week later, my second, and my third, fourth, fifth, until I had won 28 fights. In 2 short years, I was matched to fight the champ, Slugger Brown. I was in my dressing room with my manager when the door opened.
Hello, Midge. How you doing?
It was her again. She was wearing a dress that must have been made by the Hudson Automobile Company. The neckline was so low, she had to step down to get into it.
Hello, baby. How's about a date tonight after I knock out the champ?
I got news for you, Midge. You're not knocking out anybody. You're throwing the fight.
Are you kidding?
You don't believe me? Here's your manager. Ask him.
O'Brien, are you crazy? Would I fight for 2 years and 10 pounds for this? Would I spend 2 years getting my brains knocked out just so I could take a dive? Would I work my way up to the title bout just to throw the fight? Would I? Would I?
Why don't you turn the page and find out?
I turned the page, and there it was. I was to take a dive in the 5th round. My new writer from Lux had double-crossed me. I wasn't going to do it. I'd worked and fought to be champion. And tonight, I was going to fight to win.
Introducing at 159 pounds, wearing purple trunks, the middleweight champion of the world, Slugger Brown. And his worthy opponent, weighing 155 pounds, wearing bifocal glasses, Midge Benny.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the radio audience. The men are in the center of the ring receiving their instructions. They go back to their corners waiting for the bell. And there it is, round 1. Slugger comes out of his corner and starts mixing furiously. Midge meets him like a wildcat with the right and the left. And now for a few words from our sponsors. Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp. Use a wherever grindstone and sharpen your silly face off. Now back to the fight. Well, that was an exciting round. Slugger's nose is still bleeding and Midge's eye is tightly closed. Now we're waiting for the bell for the second round. There's the bell. The boys come out and circle each other. They're still circling each other.
We circled each other 3 times. Then my opponent leaned over to me and said...
Hey, Bud. Bud.
Who, me?
Yeah. Come here a minute.
What is it?
What round are you going to take a dive in?
The 5th. What?
Make it the 3rd.
The 3rd? Why?
My feet are killing me.
Slugger, I'm not throwing this fight. I'm in here to win, so start mixing it.
Well, okay, it's your nose.
Oh! The champ lands a terrific right cross, and Midge Benny is down.
Yes, I was down.
The referee is counting over him.
Yes, the referee was counting over me.
The count is up to 5.
Yes, the count was up to 5.
Now Midge is rolling over on his back.
Yes, I was rolling over on my back.
Why don't you shut up?
Yes, why don't I shut up? If I lay there beaten and dazed, my whole career flashed in front of me. How it started 2 years ago, when I was trudging along a dusty Kansas road, hitchhiking with my best friend, Bubbles.
You tired, Bubbles?
Pretty much, Midge.
Hey, Bubbles, look out. Here comes a car.
Hey, you boys want a lift?
Oh, no, we're not going through that again. Come on, Bubbles. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time when we... I'll get it. Hello?
Mr. Benny?
Speaking.
I am the president of the Pasadena Pickle Factory, and I want to thank you for saving me 200 gallons of vinegar.
I saved you 200 gallons of vinegar?
Yeah, while your program was on, we had our cucumbers next to the radio, and they all turned sour.
Good night, folks.
speaking. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, at auction after auction, market after market, the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco. Listen to the words of Mr. Tom Jones, 18 years, an independent auctioneer of Mount Airy, North Carolina. He recently said,
"In my 18 years of auctioneering at market after market, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine tobacco, fine, ripe cigarette tobacco that makes a smooth, mild smoke. I've smoked Lucky's myself for 15 years.
For your own real, deep-down smoking enjoyment, take a tip from the experts. Light up a Lucky. Light up a really finer cigarette. And puff by puff, you'll see LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. That's why there's no question. Lucky Strike is a finer, smoother, milder smoke. So smoke the smoke of fine tobacco. Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw. No doubt about it. In all the world, there's no finer cigarette than Lucky Strike.
The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final broadcast of the season. And as you know, farewells are always sad. And doing the final program is always sad. So, without further ado, we bring you radio's saddest comedian, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking, and Don, that was a rather puzzling introduction.
Puzzling?
Yes, only last Sunday, in honor of National Pickle Week, you said I was a barrel of fun. Now, how in one short week did I deteriorate from a barrel of fun to radio's saddest comedian? How could that be?
Well, it's really very simple, Jack. A pickle is something sour. Now, according to Webster's dictionary, sour means morose. Morose means gloomy. Gloomy means sad. So it's very logical for you to go from National Pickle Week to radio's saddest comedian. See?
Well, Don, I've looked in Webster's dictionary myself, and I found out that when you pickle a thing, it's submerged in brine. When it's submerged in brine, it's preserved. When it's preserved, it's canned, and that's exactly what you are. Goodbye. And now, ladies and gentlemen, having said farewell to beautiful Don Wilson, we continue...
Now, wait a minute, Jack. You wouldn't fire me on the last show of the season. You're not that cheap. You want to bet, Donzie?
Speaking of things pickled, here's Phil Harris.
You can stop with that, too, Jackson. I ain't had a drink in 2 weeks since Remley had his accident.
Remley had an accident? What happened to him?
Oh, it was horrible, Jackson. Ghastly. He was carrying a bowl full of goldfish when somebody yelled, "Bottoms up."
You mean?
Yep, drained it, sand and all.
Gee, Phil, I'm sorry to hear that about Frankie. It must have been awful.
Well, he didn't mind the fish or the sand, but that water nearly killed him.
Look, Phil, why don't you...
Oh, Jack, I hate to interrupt, but I'm really worried about your firing me.
Oh, for goodness sake, Don, I was only kidding. I wouldn't fire you. You've been with me for 15 years. Cut your salary, maybe, but not fire. So forget it.
Oh, well, I guess I was silly to let it bother me. After all, you couldn't be that cheap.
Want a bet?
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Don.
How you live?
Hello, Curly, you Ollie Conaventino.
Oh, cut it out, Livy. You're embarrassing me.
Oh, fine. Look who's trying to act modest.
Yeah, on the bumper of his car is a rubber stamp that says, "You lucky pedestrian, you've just been hit by Phil Harris."
That's right.
Oh, Mary, you're kidding.
No, I'm not. Jack, take off your shirt and show him.
Mary, Phil hit me while I was bending over, and let's forget it. By the way, Don, since this is our final show of the season, where are you going on your vacation?
Well, I'm going to spend 2 glorious weeks at the Brown Derby.
That's nice. What are you going to do, Mary?
Well, my sister Babe is coming to visit me, and we're going hunting.
Hunting? Isn't that more of a sport for a man?
That's what Babe's hunting for.
Well, it's a shame nature gave her such bad ammunition. I'm still a barrel of fun. What about your vacation, Phil?
Can't take any, Jackson. I'm making a picture for 20th Century Fox.
A picture? What's the name of it?
Take Me Out to the Brewery.
Good. That's a nice title there.
Say, Jack, before we went on the air, you said you were going to do something special on the program today. What is it?
Well, Mary, I thought it'd be nice on this last show to introduce all the people connected with the program. I'd like to start off by presenting Bill Days, Marty Spurzel, Gurney Bell, and Bob Stevens, better known as the Sportsman Quartet. Hiya, fellas. And a happy to you, too. John, have the boys prepared a number?
Oh, yes, Jack. They're going to offer their version of Frank Lesser's new song hit, Baby It's Cold Outside.
But, Don, that number needs a girl singer, too.
Well, I know, and we're fortunate to have with us the girl who made the popular recording of that song with Johnny Mercer. None other than Margaret Whiting.
Margaret Whiting, is she here?
Yes, Jack. Hi, everybody.
Hello, Margaret. Well, now I see where nature sent all the good ammunition. But, Margaret, it's swell having you here with us. This is really a surprise.
Some surprise. You've been arguing salary with her for 3 weeks.
Mary, stop. I really am surprised to see Margaret.
Oh, well, then what is she doing here? I lost the argument.
Yes, my agent is a regular bulldog. Well, look, Margaret, before you sing, I'd like you to meet my orchestra leader. Oh, Phil, this is Margaret Whiting.
Hello, Phil.
Well, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
Say, Margaret, what a delivery. I understand, Margaret, this record you made with Johnny Mercer is a sensational hit. They're selling like hotcakes.
Oh, yes, Jack, and I'm very happy about it. Oh, by the way, did you buy one of the records?
No, I didn't. I figured that as long as you're a guest on my program, you'd bring me one.
But, Jack, they're only 75 cents.
I know, but...
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you the 75 cents on one condition.
What's that?
You let me go in the store with you and watch you spend it.
Well...
you can't get too close to her, Margaret. The newsreels won't let you.
Newsreels. One little camera when I bought my new suit, and she makes a big thing out of it. Now, Margaret, are you ready to do your song with the quartet?
Yes, Jack. Who's going to accompany us?
My orchestra, honey.
Well, praise the Lord and pass the bromo seltzer.
Well, look, Margaret, if you don't want Phil's music, perhaps I can accompany you on my violin.
Well,
what?
that puts me between the devil and the deep blue eyes.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Margaret Whiting and the Sportsman Quartet present their version of Frank Lesser's new song hit, Baby It's Cold Outside.
I really can't
But
stay.
baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
Hoping that you drop
so
in.
very nice.
We'll hold your hand just like
My mother will start to worry.
beautiful. Watch your
And father
hurry.
will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace.
So
roar.
really, I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't
Well,
hurry.
maybe just a cigarette more.
Light a lucky, that's what they're
I
for.
got to go
Light up a
home.
lucky strike.
Lend me a
A
call.
cigarette you will light.
They really are
From
great.
now on your favorite
But
brand.
don't you see?
Just one more LSMF.
But darling, I must be going.
Look at the smoke rings
At
we're
least I'm
blowing.
gonna say that I tried.
You can smoke the lucky with pride.
I can't
Oh,
stay.
baby, don't hold out.
But
Baby, it's cold outside.
I simply must go.
Baby, you're lucky strike.
I hate you to
And if you
know.
always lie.
I'll leave with
A
regret.
wonderful cigarette.
And that's a fact.
Go around and turn and pull me back.
Darling, if you get
That's why we
lonesome,
will always
remember all
lonesome.
those luckies by your
What's the
side.
sense of burning our
Know
pride?
what I
It must be a
like.
lucky. Let's smoke a lucky strike.
Robert Whiting and the Sportsman Quartet singing Baby It's Cold Outside. Thank you, Miss Whiting. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet the man who is responsible for all the musical commercials that we do with the quartet. My arranger, Mr. Malin Merrick. Thank you, Jack. Malin, how long have you studied music?
Oh, I've never studied music, Jack.
Never studied music? Well, then how come you're qualified to make arrangements for Phil Harris's orchestra?
Well, I used to work in a boiler factory.
Oh.
Every summer I go back there just for a rest.
Well, I don't blame you. And now to get on with the introduction, I'd like to present Artie Auerbach, who plays the part of Mr. Kitzel. Mr. Kitzel, are you here? Mr. Kitzel, I haven't seen you for a few days. Where have you been?
Well, I went to the Rita Hayworth Helicon wedding.
Back this soon? Well, Mr. Kitzel, that must have been thrilling.
Really? When Rita said I do, I got so excited I fell in the swimming pool.
Oh, you're kidding. You didn't fall in their swimming pool.
Smell me.
Oh. Well, Mr. Kitzel, I want to thank you for all the laughs you've brought to the show, and I'm glad you're going to be with us again next fall.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Benny. And while you're on your vacation, would you drop me a postal card now and then?
Sure. What's your address, Mr. Kitzel?
4270 Riverton Avenue, B8.
B.A. Oh, Beverly Hills.
No, Boyle High. Well, goodbye, Mr. Benny boy.
Goodbye, Mr. Kitzel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce another talented actor named Joe Kearns. You know him as Ed, the man who guards my underground vault. He's been there for years, and whenever I go down to get money, he always says,
Oh, who goes there? Friend or foe?
Friend.
What's the password?
A penny saved is a...
Oh, it's you, Mr. Benny.
Yes, Ed. I'd like to get some money out of the vault for my summer vacation. I'm going to drive to New York.
Where?
New York.
Where?
New Amsterdam. Well, let's take care of everything while I'm gone. I'll see you again. Goodbye, Ed.
Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
And now, folks, another actor whose appearances on this program are always greeted with laughter. Because he's one...
Bud.
Who, me?
Yeah. Come here a minute.
What do you want?
What actor are you going to introduce now?
Frank Nelson. What?
Introduce Sheldon Leonard.
Well, why should I introduce Sheldon Leonard now?
Because that's me, and I just laid 6-5. I'd come in ahead of Nelson.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man who plays the part of our tout, Sheldon Leonard. And now, Mr. Leonard, will it be all right if I introduce Frank Nelson?
Oh, okay, it's your show.
Good. At this moment, folks, I'd like to present Frank Nelson. Let's see, where is he? Mr. Are you Frank Nelson, the actor?
What do you think I'm doing with this script in my hand? Swatting flies?
All right. I just want people to meet you. But you know, Frank, it's funny. Whenever I run into you on the program, you're always so antagonistic toward me.
Yes.
Well, look, Frank... Well, look, Frank, of course, I can't wait for this next one. Look, Frank, that's just on the program. But in real life, do you really hate me?
Ooh, do I?
Thank you, Frank Nelson. Ladies and gentlemen, a radio program is only as funny as the writers make it. And I happen to be fortunate enough to have 4 of the greatest, most talented, most original, most versatile writers in the entire industry. Mary, introduce my writers.
Why don't you introduce them?
Every time I look at them, I get sick. All right, I'll do it. My writers are Sam Perrin, Milt Josephsberg, George Balzer, and John Packaberry. Sam, I understand you're going to spend your vacation at the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas.
Yes, and thanks for mentioning it. Now I won't have to pay.
And George, you're going to spend your vacation at the Del Mar Hotel in Del Mar.
Thanks for mentioning it, Jack. Now I won't have to pay.
And Pat, you're going to spend your vacation at the Shamrock Hotel in Houston.
Thanks for mentioning it, Jack. Now I won't have to pay.
And Milt, you're going to spend your vacation at your brother's house in Brooklyn.
Thanks for mentioning it, Jack, but he's still going to charge me.
Hey, Milt, he has to. I own the house.
Mine, too.
And working in close cooperation with me and the writers is our little script girl, Jeanette Iman.
Hello, Blue Eyes. I'm going to miss you this summer.
She can't type, but she's a good secretary. You know, folks, all the people I introduced here tonight will be with us again next season, as well as my regular cast.
Me too, Mr. Benny?
Yes, you too, Dennis. And don't do anything silly right now, because I was just going to talk about you.
You were?
Yeah. I was going to say, Dennis, that you're talented, clever, versatile, and you're looked up to as one of the most promising personalities in radio. And you know what that means, coming from me.
Yeah, when you're all washed up, you want me to give you a job.
Dennis, Jack really meant what he said, and I feel the same way. You're not only a fine entertainer, but you're modest, considerate, kind, and one of the nicest boys I've ever met.
Oh, I can understand it coming from you.
Why?
You're nuts about me.
All right. Look, Dennis, it's time for your song. What's it going to be?
Well, I'm going to sing 3 Wishes, which is my latest recording.
Good.
On sale at all music stores.
Go ahead, Dennis.
75 cents.
Dennis, sing!
Okay.
day singing his latest recording, 3 Wishes.
On the other side is A Kiss in the Dark.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 telephone operators on my program whom you've enjoyed many times. Bea Benaderet, who plays the part of Gertrude, and Sarah Burner, who plays the part of Mabel.
Well, Jack, I don't see the girls around.
You don't? Well, then maybe they're still at the switchboard. I'll pick up the phone and find out.
Oh, Mabel, what is the date says? Mr. Benny's line is flashing. Yeah, I wonder what Judy Splinters wants now. Shall I answer it and find out? Let him wait. I had a date with him last week to go to the movies, and he kept me waiting for 2 hours. I'd have gotten awfully tired if I wasn't sitting down. Sitting down? Yeah. When Mr. Benny takes you to the movies, he meets you inside. I know what you mean. He's a slick one. Once he took me up on Mulholland Drive, shut off the motor, and then he said, "You know, honey, my back itches. Would you mind rubbing it for me?" So, then he said, "I want to take my shirt off. Would you mind closing your eyes?" All right, so you closed your eyes and rubbed his back. Rubbed his back, nothing. When I got through, I found out I Simonized his car. Well, of all the...
Operator. Gertrude. Mabel. Well, folks, I really did want you to meet them, but I guess the switchboard is busy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce one of the most versatile actors in radio, Mel Blanc. As you may or may not know, Mel plays several parts on my program. For instance, when I come downstairs in the morning and walk into my den, Mel looks at me and says, "Oh, hello, Polly."
Hello.
And many times, the Polly had to listen to me take my violin lessons. But Polly never complained because she knew my French violin teacher was also Mel Blanc.
No, Mr. Benny. How many times must I tell you it is not? Oh, what's the use? Mr. Benny, my money, please.
Then every once in a while on my travels, I have to take a train. And at the railroad station, again you hear Mel Blanc.
Train leaving on track 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Coop.
Then sometimes I decide not to take the train and go by automobile. And when I get in my car and step on the starter, does the motor start? No. Again, it's Mel Blanc. Thank you, Mel Blanc, and good luck with that wonderful novelty song you wrote, Big Bear Lake. And that's a wonderful recording you made of it with the Sportsman Quartet. Well, folks, the program is almost over, and it looks as though we've brought on everybody except... There he is now. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Oh, hello, Rochester. Have you got my car ready for my trip?
Almost, boss. I'm looking for a piece of cheesecloth so I can strain the oil into the crankcase.
But, Rochester, the last time you poured the oil right out of the can. You didn't bother to strain it.
I know, and when you drove away, the exhaust pipe kept spitting sardines.
Oh, yes, I remember. Well, anyway, it'll be a long automobile trip to New York, so be sure and put my Charlie's Aunt costume in the back seat.
Your Charlie's Aunt costume?
Yes, the skirt, the blouse, and my sheerest nylon.
Oh, boss, why go through all that? If you get a flat, fix it yourself.
I know what I'm doing. Anyway, I'll be home right after the broadcast, so have everything ready.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, say, boss.
What is it?
I happened to glance at the road map, and I noticed that you're driving east the same way you always do.
That's right. I'm going straight to the Mississippi River, then I turn north, go up to Canada, through Toronto, across to Quebec, and then down the East Coast.
You don't have to do that this year, boss. When you get to the Mississippi River, you can go right across now.
I can?
Yeah, they took the toll off that bridge.
Good. Well, so long, Rochester.
Goodbye.
Well, I guess that just about winds
Oh, Jack.
up.
Jack.
Yes, Don?
While you were talking to Rochester, a gentleman dropped in to see you. He's from Washington.
Oh, from Washington?
Yes, my name is Vernon Clark, and I'm from the United States Treasury Department.
The, Treasury Department?
Jack, get up off your knees. He's here to give you something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm happy. What is it, Mr. Clark? Huh?
Well, Jack, I'm here to thank you on behalf of the Treasury Department for the motion picture short you made to spur on the Opportunity Drive.
Well, thank you very much.
And I think the title of this picture, The Spirit of 49, is very appropriate. And when it is released in all the theaters in the country, I'm sure it'll be very successful in stimulating the sale of savings bonds.
Well, I hope so, too. And by the way, Mr. Clark, I can appreciate the responsibility you have in the Treasury Department because, I happen to be the treasurer of the Beverly Hills Beavers Club.
That's fine, Jack, because I'm going to present you with something that you can keep in your Beavers Clubhouse.
What's that, Mr. Clark?
Well, it's a citation and Sidney Williams' replica of the covered wagon, which is symbolic of the spirit of 49 and is a symbol of this year's Opportunity Drive.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. It's a great honor to receive.
Jack, we'll be back in just a moment, but first...
In a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. Yes, it takes fine tobacco to make a fine smoke, and Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. At auction after auction, independent tobacco experts can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco. No wonder a recent survey shows more of these experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen smoke Lucky Strike regularly than the next two leading brands combined. Yes, in each and every Lucky Strike, in every pack, in every carton, there's fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Tobacco that makes Lucky Strike a truly finer cigarette. LSMFT, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Tobacco that gives you all the real, deep-down smoking enjoyment you expect in your cigarette. So for a finer, smoother smoke, light up a Lucky. Light up a really finer cigarette. Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed. So free and easy on the draw. So next time you're at the cigarette counter, ask for a carton of Luckies. In all the world, there's no finer cigarette than Lucky Strike.
Ladies and gentlemen, starting next week at the same time, our summer replacement will be a great Lucky Strike program called Your Hit Parade on Parade. Be sure to listen in as I'll be playing second violin. On today's broadcast, you met nearly everyone associated with my program. But before we leave the air, I'd like to also thank my two sound men, Jim Murphy and Gene Twombly, my engineer, George Foster, my CBS contact man, Lucian Davis, to Bert Scott.
Oh, Jack,
and Hillard.
You better speed it up. We're running late.
Oh, yes, that's my producer. I was just going to introduce him, Hillard Marsh.
Thank you for mentioning it, Jack, but you'll still have to pay me.
I know. And now my entire cast joins me in wishing each and every one of you a very pleasant summer. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Treasury Department is conducting an intensified drive, the Opportunity Drive, to sell more United States savings bonds. It's a terrific opportunity for you to create financial security and independence. If you haven't been buying savings bonds regularly, start now. Put more opportunity in your future. Invest in United States savings bonds. And be sure to hear the new Lucky Strike summer replacement, Your Hit Parade on Parade, starting next Sunday in the Jack Benny time slot. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. To give you a finer, milder, more enjoyable cigarette, Lucky's pay more.
Yes, Lucky Strike pays millions of dollars more than official parity prices for fine tobacco.
At the tobacco auctions, as basket after basket of fine, light tobacco goes up for sale, as the price shoots up and up, as the top bid is reached, time and again you'll hear,
and another basket of fine tobacco goes to the makers of Lucky Strike. Yes, Lucky's pay more. Millions of dollars more than official parity prices for fine tobacco. No wonder.
LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, in each and every Lucky Strike, in every pack, in every carton, there's fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Tobacco that makes Lucky's a truly finer cigarette.
So light up a Lucky. Prove to yourself how much milder, lighter, smoother Lucky's really are. You'll agree, in all the world, there's no finer cigarette than Lucky Strike.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, to me this is a very exciting day because it's the opening broadcast of the Jack Benny program. But to the local Chamber of Commerce, it's just another Sunday. Just another day to send their free sightseeing bus on a tour of our fair city. So let's go back a few hours and board one of these buses as it makes its way around our glamorous town.
Your attention, please, folks. We're now entering Beverly Hills, where so many of our famous stars reside.
Gee, Henry, isn't it exciting? Imagine us riding along the street where all the movie stars live.
Yes, Clara, and if we see one, we can tell all our friends back in Pottsville that we...
Look, Henry, there's Lassie. There's Lassie.
No, lady, that's my kid. He needs a haircut. Now, that early American home on the right is the residence of Gary Cooper.
Gosh, Clara, Gary Cooper's house.
Yeah. Imagine all of this happening to us, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Figsbottom.
No, darling, it's Fitzpatrick.
Oh, it's so hard for me to remember. We've only been married 3 hours.
And now, folks, across the street to the left, I want you to look at that house nestled among the palm trees. It's the home of Mr. Orson Welles. This house was conceived, designed, constructed, decorated, and furnished by Mr. Orson Welles. The trees grew by themselves. And now, lady, look, there's Lassie. There's Lassie.
Oh, yes, so it is.
And now this house we're coming to on the corner is the residence of Miss Mary Livingston.
Do you want to wear the blue dress or gray one, Miss Livingston?
I think I'll wear the gray one, Pauline.
Miss Livingston, you must be pretty excited about going back on the air today.
Oh, I am, Pauline. It'll be nice seeing the whole gang again after such a long vacation.
Oh, didn't you see any of them during the summer?
Only Mr. Benny. I saw him regularly.
Oh, well, that's nice. How often did you see Mr. Benny?
Once a month when he came for the rent. We used to sit around and play gin rummy, checkers, ping pong, badminton.
Oh, then it was a social visit, too.
No, he always stayed until my check cleared the bank. There. How does my dress look?
Oh, just lovely. The gray color sets off your tan beautifully. Where'd you get such a wonderful tan?
Well, I thought I told you, Pauline. I spent 4 weeks at Catalina with my sister Babe. Babe worked for the biggest seafood restaurant in Catalina.
Was she a waitress?
No, she was diving for abalone.
Oh, Miss Livingston, you're kidding me. From what I've heard about Babe, she was probably over there looking for a new boyfriend.
No, Pauline. Babe is a great deep-sea diver. In fact, she set a new record last month.
Really?
Yes. Didn't you read in the papers a few weeks ago when they lowered that man 4,500 feet in a diving bell?
Yes.
Well, when they pulled it up, Babe was in there with him. Well, I better get started for the studio. Bye, Pauline.
Goodbye. Oh, say, Miss Livingston, when you see Phil Harris, give him a big kiss for me.
Oh, Pauline, I wouldn't do a thing like that. Phil is a married man.
Well, last night I dreamed he was married to me. We had a beautiful home in Encino, 2 children and everything.
Pauline, what about Alice Faye?
She was our maid.
Alice Faye was working as your maid?
Through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox.
Oh, fine. Well, see you later. And by the way, Pauline, you need to prepare dinner. This is the first show, and maybe after the program, Mr. Benny will invite us all over to the Brown Derby for a big... Now I'm dreaming. Fry some hamburger.
Yes, ma'am.
Gosh, Clara, I can hardly wait to tell our friends in Pottsville we saw Mary Livingston's house.
Yeah. Say, driver, is it true that Miss Livingston used to work at the May Company?
Uh-huh. In those days, she was known as Nylon Nellie. And now, folks, I'd like you to notice that little white house with the green shutters. That's the residence of the popular singer, Dennis Day.
Oh, Dennis! Dennis! Oh, where is that boy? Dennis!
I'm taking a shower, Mother.
But Dennis, I thought you took a shower last night.
This is the same one. I can't figure out how to turn it off.
Oh, well, never mind that. Just put on your bathrobe and come out here.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, that Dennis. Why doesn't he get married and leave home like other boys?
Dennis, you'd better hurry.
Oh, here I am, Mother. I'll start dressing. Now, where are my shoes?
Here they are. Well, son, are you excited about Mr. Benny's opening program?
Yes, but this year things are going to be different. I'm going to stand up for my rights.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm an average guy, and I have normal intelligence, and it's not fair for Mr. Benny to make me play the part of a dumb, stupid kid. There, I got my shoes on. Now I'll go get my shirt.
What happened, Dennis?
I tied my shoelaces together all untied.
Now, Dennis, don't forget what I told you. This season, I want you to get your check from Mr. Benny immediately after each program.
Oh, Mother, I don't have to do that. I can trust Mr. Benny.
I wouldn't trust that man as far as I threw your father last night. And, Dennis, this year insists that Mr. Benny pay you in American money. There's no reason why you should have to go to Tijuana each week to cash your check. Do you understand?
Oh, si, senor. But, Mother, you shouldn't talk about Mr. Benny like that. He's one of the best friends I've got.
Some friend. What has he ever done for you?
Well, what about last year when I had to have that operation and I couldn't afford it? Didn't Mr. Benny come to my rescue?
Yes, but I still think you took a chance letting Rochester take out your appendix.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm going to save my money and have it sewed up someday. That Scotch tape is wearing out. Well, I'm all dressed and ready to go, Mother.
Oh, wait a minute, son. What song are you going to sing on the program?
Younger Than Springtime. Gee, I didn't even rehearse it yet.
Oh, well, you'd better run over it once before you go.
Okay, Mom.
I touch your hand and my arms grow strong, like a pair of birds that burst with song. My eyes look down at your lovely face, and I hold the world in my embrace. Younger than springtime are you, softer than starlight are you, warmer than winds of June are the gentle lips you gave me. Gayer than laughter are you, sweeter than music are you, angel and love, heaven and earth are you to me. And when you're you, and joy invade my arms and fill my heart as now they do. Then, younger than springtime, am I, gayer than laughter, am I, angel and lover, heaven and earth, am I,
And now, folks, we're passing through the poorer section of Beverly Hills. These people have to use hard water in their swimming pool. And next, may I call your attention to that house with the spacious gardens all around it. It belongs to Phil Harris and Alice Faye.
Gee, it sure is beautiful, ain't it, Clara?
Yeah.
Folks, we certainly are in luck. If you look closely, you can see Phil Harris out in the yard talking to his gardener.
How do you like this flower bed, Mr. Harris?
Oh, it looks fine, Tom. Fine.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. Cineglossum amabile is very colorful this time of year.
Indubitably. However, I think it would look nicer if we had a border of Abronia umbellata.
Mr. Harris, wouldn't it look better with a border of lobelia?
Lobelia with Cineglossum amabile?
Well, Mr. Harris, I was only suggesting...
I know, but watch it, man. Watch it. And, Tom, don't let me forget to irrigate the vegetable garden, especially the cabbages.
I won't. But tell me, Mr. Harris, why do you irrigate your cabbages with bourbon? Isn't that unusual?
Yeah, but that way I get the biggest heads in town.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
Now, look, Tom, I got to be running along. I got to go to the studio and rehearse my band.
My, you musicians lead such exciting lives. I never told you this, Mr. Harris, but my original ambition was to become a musician, too.
Oh. Did you study music?
Yes, but I wasn't too good at it. I couldn't understand the meaning of terms like pizzicato, andante, doloroso, tacit, forte, and allegro con moto. So I became a gardener.
Pass me a shovel, Bub. Look, I got to get going. And, Tom, I want to thank you for taking care of the garden while I was vacationing at Catalina.
Oh, I meant to ask you, Mr. Harris. Did you have any luck on that fishing trip?
Yeah, pretty good. It was pretty good. I caught 2 barracuda, 3 albacore, and Mary's sister Babe. I threw the barracuda and Babe back. Well, I better change clothes, get started for the studio.
Yes, sir. Will you take one of Miss Faye's cars, or will you ride your bicycle?
Oh, I'll take one of her cars. She hasn't counted them lately. By the way, Tom, tell Miss Faye not to expect me home for dinner.
Oh?
Well, you see, this is the first show of the season, and after the program, Mr. Benny will probably take the whole cast out to the big derby for a big, make it the Brown Derby, for a big, let's make it the big Brown Derby. You'll take us out there for a big... I must have ate more of them cabbages than I thought.
And now, folks, continuing our tour of Beverly Hills, we turn into Benedict Canyon Drive. Whoops, dead end. Folks, while I'm turning around, will you notice that house on the corner? That's the home of Robert Taylor and Barbara Stanley.
Oh, honey, if you only looked like Robert Taylor.
I'd be happy if you looked like Robert Taylor.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me direct your attention to that little house in the middle of the block. It's the home of that famous musical aggregation, the Sportsman Quartet. And, aren't we Boston? And look who's waddling up the walk, Don Wilson.
Well, hello, fellas. Now, boys, we haven't got much time, so I'll get right down to business. You know, today is Mr. Benny's opening broadcast, and you really ought to have an appropriate song to welcome him back. While he was on vacation, he relaxed, took it easy, played golf, even went to Europe. In fact, this vacation did him so much good, you'd hardly recognize him. He looks wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Now, when you see him, how are you going to greet him?
Hello, beautiful. How'd you get so beautiful? Where'd you get those lovely big blue eyes? Hello, beautiful. How'd you keep so beautiful? What's your secret? Won't you fool us wise? Tell us what you do to look so youthful. Are you really 39? Be truthful.
Tell me, Mr. Benny.
Hello, beautiful. Won't you tell us, beautiful? Where did you get those big blue eyes? Hello, Lucky Strike. How about a lucky strike? Light a lucky puff on it a while. LSMFT, that's a cigarette for me. Light a lucky, smoke it with a smile. Lucky strikes are made of fine tobacco. Everybody knows that it's a fact. Oh, hello, Mr. B, with our LSMFT. We're glad to be back on your show. Hello. We're glad to be back on your show.
And now as we continue along our way, is everybody comfy? Good. As we continue through beautiful Beverly Hills, we pause to admire one of the most lovely homes. The stately mansion across the street is the residence of Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman. And on the other side of the 30-foot barbed wire fence is the home of Jack Benny.
You mean Jack Benny, star of stage, screen, and radio?
Yeah, that's what his underwear on the line spells out.
Gee, Mr. Benny has such a big house. I wonder what's going on in there.
Well, I got the dishes all washed. Better go make the bed. Seems like old times, Mr. Benny being back on the air. Sure is good to have him home from Europe again. Imagine him going over trying to swim the channel. What a mess. It took me 3 days to get the grease out of those wrinkles. He wasn't the first one who thought of swimming the channel, but he was the first one to try it with passengers. Well, I'd better get upstairs. Mr. Benny's residence, Rochester Van Jones speaking.
Hello, Rochester. This is Susie.
Oh, Susie.
Can you talk now?
Sure. Mr. Benny's already left for the studio. You know, today's his first broadcast of the new season.
Oh, his first program, huh? Oh, gosh, is he nervous?
Nervous? You should have seen him this morning. He combed his hair 3 times and then left without it. Anyway, I'm sure glad Mr. Benny is back. Things are awful dull while he was away.
Yeah, but Rochester, didn't you have a lot of work to do around the house?
Yeah, but there wasn't anybody here to make me do it.
Oh, Rochester, ain't you the one?
Yeah. Now, look, honey, let's talk about you and me. How about a date tonight?
Well, yeah, but don't you have to get dinner for Mr. Benny?
No, not tonight. You see, this is his opening broadcast, and After the show, he'll probably take the whole cast of the Brown Derby for a pig.
Rochester? Why'd you stop talking?
The more I said, the sillier it sounded. Anyway, sweetie, I'll call for you as soon as I can and be sure to wear that same blue silk dress you wore last time.
Oh, but Rochester, honey, that dress is awfully tight. If you couldn't get a boyfriend for her.
Oh, honey, we don't want anybody else along.
Oh, but she's awfully cute.
Maybe so, but...
She's about 5'4", and she's a gorgeous figure, real cute smile. Everybody says she looks exactly like Lena Horne.
She does?
Yeah, do you know anybody you can get for her?
Yeah. Now I'm trying to figure out who to get for you.
Never mind that. You're going with me.
Okay. Well, I gotta hang up, honey. I still got work to do.
All right, Rochester. See you tonight. Bye.
Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we spent the last 3 hours going through Beverly Hills, and now we're in the heart of Hollywood. Continuing down Sunset Boulevard, I'd like to point out the famous Palladium Ballroom.
Goodness, Henry, this has been one of the most perfect sightseeing tours I've ever been on.
Yeah, and to think the Chamber of Commerce supplies this bus free.
And now we come to one of Hollywood's most noted buildings occupying this full block. It's the nation's foremost radio network, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is where I get off, driver. Get off here. Open the door, please.
What did you say, mister?
I said this is where I get off.
Get off? The Chamber of Commerce goes to the trouble of running a free bus so you tourists can see the city, and in the middle of a tour, you want to get off.
Open the door, please.
But you haven't seen everything yet. From here, we go to Figueroa Street, where we'll pose for a moment in front of a statue of Honest John, the original Ghost Rider in the sky.
Open the door, please.
Then we pass the City Hall on our way to the Los Angeles Police Department, where you'll see all the officers sitting around a table pointing at each other.
Open the door, please. I've got to get off here.
But you haven't lived until you've seen the sun as it slowly sinks its golden rays into the blue goo of the La Brea Arch.
I've seen it. Now open the door.
But, mister!
Let him off!
Yeah, let him off. That arguing is lousing up our honeymoon.
All right, bud. If you're going to get off, get off.
Thanks. Well, look at that crowd waiting to see my first broadcast.
Hey, it's Jack Benny. Hello, Mr. Benny.
Hello.
Are you going to have a funny program today?
Yes, sir. It'll have more surprises than a box of Cracker Jack.
A box of Cracker Jack? That guy's a riot.
Well, looks like I'm going to have a good audience. Yes, sir. It'll feel good being back on the air. Younger than springtime am I. Combed it and left it, oh my. Da-da-da-dum-dum. Gee, I combed it down in front so I'd look like Garbo. Well, here's Studio B. Hello, everybody. Hiya, gang.
Okay, men, here he is. Let him have it.
Thanks, fellas. Thanks. Well, everybody's here.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, Mary. Come on over here and give me a kiss.
Oh, I can't. I just kissed Phil, and I got to take it home to my maid.
Well, give it to me. I'll take it home to your maid. Hey, Phil, you got your band number all set for the show?
Yeah, Jackson, I'm going to play that new Cannibal song.
Cannibal song? What's that?
Some enchanted evening you may eat a stranger.
Oh, brother.
You may eat a stranger.
Uh-oh. What's the matter, Dennis?
Does anybody have any Scotch tape?
your own fault, kid. Stitches wouldn't have cost you much more, you know.
Say, Jack, we've only got a few minutes before we go on the air.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, where's Don?
Well, here I am, Jack, with the quartet.
Oh, yes. Hello, boys.
Hello, beautiful. How you so beautiful? Where get those lovely big blue eyes?
No, not now, boys. Save it for the show.
Hell, that's beautiful. How she's so beautiful.
That's my secret. I won't put you wise.
Jack, we haven't got time for that now.
Yeah, Jack, we'll be on the air in 2 minutes. Where are the scripts?
Oh, yes, the scripts. I have them right. Uh-oh. Oh, my goodness.
Well, Jack, what's the matter? Where are the scripts?
I left them on the bus. I'll run out and see if I can catch them. Ooh.
Jack, what happened?
I slipped. Rochester didn't get all the grease off of me. Hey, driver! Driver, I left my script on the bus! Hey, driver! Driver!
Ladies and gentlemen, the flood of increased enrollments in our schools will create a critical situation within the next few years unless action is taken now. By taking an interest in our schools, all of us can help make sure that the community we live in gets the best education for the money it spends and provides the best possible educational opportunities for our children. So please join and work with local civic groups and school boards. Remember, better schools make better communities. Good citizens everywhere will help. Thank you. Jack will be back in just a moment, but first, 60.
Lucky's pay more. Yes, at the tobacco auctions, Lucky's pay millions of dollars more than official parity prices for fine tobacco.
LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Listen to the words of a tobacco expert, Mr. Charles Thomas Randolph, independent buyer of Kinston, North Carolina. He recently said,
I've been learning about tobacco for 31 years, and during that time, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine quality tobacco, the kind of tobacco that's bound to make a real good smoke. I've smoked Lucky's myself for 23 years.
And a recent survey reveals more independent tobacco experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen smoke Lucky Strike regularly than the next two leading brands combined.
so for your own real deep-down smoking enjoyment, smoke the smoke tobacco expert smoke, Lucky Strike.
And remember, Lucky's pay more, millions of dollars more than official parity prices for fine tobacco, to give you a finer, milder, more enjoyable cigarette.
Good reason to make your next carton Lucky Strike.
And now we pause here a few minutes in Pasadena so you can see the famous Rose Bowl Stadium, which is over to your left.
Driver, open the door. Open the door.
Oh, it's you again.
Yeah, I left something on the bus. Open the door.
I will not open the door.
You will open the door. I left my radio scripts on the bus.
You're too late. I threw them in the blue goo of the La Brea Target.
Oh, no, and it's my first program.
Dennis Day and the day of the life of Dennis Day. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Jack Benny Program. Starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And Don, I don't want to sound like a ham, but I think it was awful that on our opening program last week I was only on for 4 minutes.
Well, Jack, you may be interested to know that letters have been pouring in commenting on your brief appearance.
Really, Don? Now, what did they say?
Life can be beautiful.
Don, I suppose you thought that was pretty funny, huh?
Oh, yes, I did, Jack. As a matter of fact, I made that up myself.
Oh, you made it up yourself, huh?
Yeah.
Don, excuse me a minute. Hello? Is this the unemployment insurance office? It is? Well, you can start making out a thin check for a fat boy. Goodbye. And now, folks, for the remainder of this program, we will struggle along without the services of Mr. America, North, South, and Central. So getting on with the show.
Wait a minute, Jackson. Hold it a minute. You can't do that to Donzie.
Do I hear a voice from NBC? Phil, did you say something?
Certainly I did. What are you mad at Don for? You don't have to get sore just because somebody else gets a laugh. We've all got to make a buck, you know.
Well, Phil.
Well, we got to look out for our future. I ain't worried about myself. I'm married to Alice, but what about the rest of the gang?
Phil.
You know, we'd all like to have a few luxuries, you know. I mean, let us live a little bit.
Phil, as long as the rail is pure brass and they don't run out of olives, you're happy. Now, Don.
Yes, Jack?
Believe me, Don, I don't care who gets the laughs on this show. It's just that I think it's time that the star is shown a little more respect by his subordinates.
Subordinates?
Yes, that's what you are. You, Don, Mary, you're all subordinates. Now, let's get...
Hello, Jack. Hello, Phil.
Hiya, sub.
Sub?
Yeah, Livy, ain't you heard? You're a subordinate.
Subordinate? To whom?
To the little man who we only needed for 4 minutes last week.
That's the whom. Now, kids, I'm sorry I started the whole thing, so let's forget it. Oh, Don.
Oh, excuse me a minute, Jack. I'd like to say something to Mary.
To me, Don?
Yes, I want to congratulate you on being selected as one of the 10 best-dressed women in America.
Oh, yes. Congratulations.
Well, thanks, boys.
I bet you were thrilled, weren't you, Mary?
Oh, I certainly was, Don. I thought it was quite an honor.
Hey, Liv, let me get this straight. You were picked as one of the best-dressed women in America?
Uh-huh.
On what Jackson pays you? How can you afford to dress like that?
My mother used to be a cigarette girl at Cyril's.
She was not.
She was, too. She was known as No Change Livingston.
Oh, well, I apologize, Mary.
Hey, Livy, I just thought of something. You know why Gypsy Rose Lee didn't enter the best-dressed women contest?
No, why?
Because she couldn't bear to lose. Oh, Harris, you may only be a subordinate, but that joke alone will run for 4 minutes.
It will if they don't open the window. Now, look, kids, tonight we have a very important sketch to do, so let's get on with it. Tonight we're going to present our version of that famous Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer picture, Edward, My Son. Now, in this sketch... Pardon me. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, Mel Blanc. Hello, Mel. What can I do for you?
I just dropped in to see if you had a part for me on your program today.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mel. I don't need any extra actors today.
Oh, but I can make the listeners think you got a lot of stars on a program. I can imitate Humphrey Bogart, Clark Gable, Edward G. Robinson, and Al Jolson.
Mel, believe me, I don't need an extra actor today. I'm sorry.
Okay, but gee, I don't know what to tell my wife and 5 daughters.
You have 5 daughters?
I also imitate Eddie Cantor.
Oh, get out. Now, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yes. In our sketch, I'll do the part that was played by Spencer Tracy. And Deborah Carr's part will be played by you, Mary. And
now, wait a minute, Jack. Why don't you give Mel Blanc a job? He won't charge you much.
Mary, look.
Well, you told me yesterday you had a part for a Western Union boy.
Look, I filled that already. Now, Dennis will play the part of Edward, my son.
I've got the Sportsman Quartet here, and they're all prepared. They've prepared a wonderful song, April Showers.
Don, that's not appropriate. That doesn't fit our program at all.
Jack, don't let that bother you. The boys can give you anything you want on the spur of the moment. They can ad-lib. What would you like?
Well, we should have something to fit in with our show. Like tonight, for instance, we're going to do Edward, my son.
Edward, my son? Well, that's simple. Come on, fellas. Give him something on Edward, my son.
Charlie, my boy, oh, Charlie, my boy. He'll thrill you.
Charlie, my boy.
With shivers of
boy, that song is too old.
He is the kind of sort of Charlie, my boy.
Look, I don't want that. I want Edward, my son.
Charlie, my boy.
Edward, my son.
Edward, my son. Oh, Edward, my son. We'll change it, arrange it, and here's how it's done. Instead of Charlie, 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 my boy, we'll make it Edward, 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 my son. We want to please you with all in fun.
Boy, what about the commercial?
Edward, my son.
Oh, the commercial.
Ask Charlie, my boy, or Edward, my son.
Who?
Edward, my son.
Well, Don, that was simply wonderful, amazing. I mean, what other quartet could have taken a song like Charlie, my boy, and switched it completely to Edward, my son? Yeah. Now get him out of here, will you?
Okay, you better sit down, boys.
And they can cut that out, too. That hasn't gotten a laugh in 3 years. Now, come on, kids. Let's get on. Excuse me. Come in. Yes?
Telegram for Jack Benny.
Right here, boy.
Boy? Jack, that's Rochester. Why is he wearing a Western Union outfit?
Never mind, Mary. I'll take the telegram, boy.
Here you are, sir.
You can go now.
Wait a minute, Jack. So that's why you wouldn't hire Mel Blanc for the messenger boy. You made Rochester do it.
Rochester, you can go.
If that ain't the silliest thing I ever heard, making Rochester an actor.
I wouldn't laugh so much if I were you, Mr. Harris.
What do you mean?
As soon as I learn all the lyrics, so that's what I like about the South. You're a one-show man.
What?
Oh, won't you come with me to Alabama? There you'll see my...
Rochester, go already.
All right, boy. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, say, boss.
What is it?
After I drive you home from the studio, can I borrow your car and have the rest of the evening off? I got a date with my new girlfriend, Susie.
Well, I guess so, Rochester, but be careful this time. The last time you drove up to Mulholland Drive with Susie, the car broke down. You were stuck up there for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Go on, Rochester. And now, kids, getting back to our sketch, Dennis will play the part of my son. Where is that kid? Dennis!
Oh, here I am, Mr. Benny, behind the piano.
Well, come on out here.
I can't.
Why not?
Before the show, I was playing poker with the musicians, and I lost my pants.
Stop being silly and come out here.
Okay.
Imagine such a... Dennis, why do you make up things like playing poker with musicians and losing your pants? You're wearing pants.
I know, but they're not mine. Sammy the drummer lent them to me.
But he's such a big fella. How come his pants are so tight on you?
The piano player lost, too. He's in here with me.
Now cut that out! You know, Dennis, I can't understand what makes you act so silly.
Well, that's not my fault. My mother dropped me on my head when she was burping me.
Oh, when you were a baby?
No, last night.
That does it. Now, look, Dennis, don't say another word, will you? Do it for me. Don't say... Just sing your song. That's all. Hold it a minute, kid. Come in. Yes?
Special delivery letter for Jack Benny.
I'll take it, mailman. Thanks. Now, Dennis, I'll read this letter, and you can sing your... Dennis, why do you look so puzzled?
That mailman was dressed in a Western Union outfit.
I know, never mind.
And he looks exactly like Rochester.
I know, Dennis, I know.
He talked like Rochester, too.
I know.
Gee, that Mel Blanc can imitate anybody.
Mel, haven't you gone home yet?
No, I'm waiting around to see if you've got a part for me in your play.
I told you I have nothing. All the parts have been cast. Now go away and leave me alone.
Gee, I don't know what to tell my wife and 4 daughters.
I thought you had 5 daughters.
I play poker with the musicians.
Well, all right, Mel. Look, Mel Blanc. Look, there's a small bit in my sketch. You can play the part of Harry Simpkins, my business partner. Now, go ahead, Don. Introduce the play.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our version of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's sensational film success, based on that great English play, Edward, My Son.
I am Lord Spencer Bolt, industrialist, financier, banker. I number among my friends kings, princes, and diplomats. I travel in the most select social circles. No man in all England wields more power than I. Yet, with it all, I'm just a good-natured slob. The career that I carved, the fortune I built, everything I did was for Edward, my son. It all began many years ago in the quaint little English town of Leicester, Worcestershire. That name probably means nothing to you, but just try to spell it sometime. As my story opens, it is the first birthday of Edward, my son.
Oh, Spencer. Spencer, come here.
What is it, Deborah?
Look at Edward. He's only a year old, and he has a full set of teeth.
So that's where they are. I've been looking all over there. Hello, Edward. How does Daddy's baby feel on his first birthday?
Gloop, gloop.
Isn't he cute?
Yes, Deborah, but I wish his head didn't come to such a sharp point.
Well, at least it saves us the price of a babysitter. When we go out at night, we just stick him in the wall.
Quite ingenious, rather.
Gloop, gloop, gloop.
Deborah, why is the baby's diaper so tight?
There's a piano player in there with him.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's someone at the door.
Well, that must be Harry Simpkins, my new partner I spoke to you about.
Isn't he the man who was sentenced to hang for murder and was pardoned 3 minutes after the trap was sprung?
Yes, but don't say anything about his long neck. He's sensitive.
Oh, I shan't.
You shan't? And don't mention the 11 prison terms he served for robbery. Come in. Don't stand there in the fog.
Hello, Spencer.
Hello, Harry. This is my wife. This is my wife, Deborah.
Hello, Harry. So nice of you to come over for Edward's birthday.
I wanted to get a bottle of champagne to celebrate, but the liquor store was open.
That's hardly cricket.
Quite.
You may think it strange that I would go into partnership with a criminal. But during the next few years, Harry and I made lots of money, and we were able to pass most of it without getting caught. Then one day I tipped off Scotland Yard about Harry, and they came and took him to jail. I know I was a rat. But in that way, I got rid of Harry Simpkins and Mel Blanc at the same time. And I did it all for Edward, my son. I soon became rich due to some shrewd business deals, well-placed investments, and a short hitch as a cigarette girl at Ciro's. Eventually, I was made Sir Spencer Bold, and it was a happy little group that gathered to celebrate Edward's 5th birthday.
There, Deborah, 5 candles. Isn't that a beautiful birthday cake?
Yeah, but it's 5 years old. We're rich now. Can't we afford a new cake?
No, we can't.
Why can't we?
Because we can't. That's why we can't. Why spend money foolishly? I'm saving every penny I make for Edward. By the way, Deborah, where's the little blighter?
There he is in his crib.
He shouldn't be in his crib. Today is his 5th birthday. Come to Daddy, Edward.
Coochie coochie coo. Coochie coochie coo.
Say Daddy, Edward. Say Daddy. Gloop. He said Daddy. He said Daddy. Now say Daddy again. Gloop. There, he said it again. He said it again. By the time he's 10, he'll be talking.
Not unless you buy him Edgar Bergen.
I tried to buy him Edgar Bergen, but CBS beat me to it. Several years later, I was given the title of Lord Holt. I was proud of the title because it would be inherited by Edward, my son. I said, by Edward, my son. They must be playing poker again. Anyway, by now, my son was 14 years old. Deborah and I were proud parents as we watched him count the candles on his birthday cake.
Come on, Edward. Count the candles on your cake.
Count on your fingers, Edward. It'll be easier.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
5.
Go ahead, son.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Bully.
Bully, 10.
No, Edward. 9, 10, 11.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Now, go on. Keep counting.
I can't. That's all the fingers I've got.
Well, take off your shoes. You're loaded down there.
He took off his shoes, and toes ran in all directions. He looked like he was standing in 2 plates of spaghetti.
Oh, Deborah, this is Edward's 14th birthday. Don't you think it's time we sent him to school?
Well, I'm not sure.
Perhaps we should consult his nurse. I'll call her and see what she thinks. Oh, Constance. Constance.
Here I am, your lordship.
Spencer.
What is it, Deborah?
We're so rich now. Don't you think we'd get the nurse a white dress instead of the Western Union outfit?
Wait a minute. Now, Constance, I wanted to ask you if you think Edward is ready to start school.
Well, I don't know, your lordship. You see, he can't take care of himself. I still have to give him his bath every day.
Which reminds me, Constance, is it true that last night when you were giving Edward a bath, you held his head under the water 10 times?
Yeah.
You make... I know, Jack, I made a mistake. You may go, Constance. Better luck next time.
Better luck to you.
Now, Edward, we're thinking of putting you in school.
Well, if I go to school, can I take my frog along?
Yes, you can take your frog.
The next day, we went to school. We took the entrance examinations. Edward didn't pass, but the frog did. But that didn't stop me. I bought the school, grabbed Edward by the head, and stuck him in the 2nd grade. With Edward in school, my incentive to work was greater than ever. I made millions and millions. I had to. My wife was one of the 10 best-dressed women in England. They even gave her a charge account at Eastern Columbia, Piccadilly at night. 3 years went by and was lonely for me and Deborah. With Edward in school, it wasn't quite the same.
Spencer, with Edward in school, it isn't quite the same.
I just said that.
I thought I heard it.
You'll hear it again at 9:30. But, Deborah, you can't imagine how much I've missed my boy since he's been away. Sometimes I...
Oh, there's someone at the door.
I'll get it. Wonder who it is.
It's me, Edward, my son.
Edward, it's you. It's you, my boy. The apple of my eye. The pride of my life. The one I've dedicated my whole existence to. I've worked, struggled, and fought my way to the top so that you can have the better things of life. And now you've come back to me. You've come back to me.
I didn't have much on last week's show, but this week I'm loaded.
Edward, what are you doing home from school?
I had to come home, Mother. I missed you and Gloop.
He never did learn how to say Daddy.
Well, come in, Edward. Make yourself comfortable. Take off your hat and coat.
We couldn't ask him to take off his shoes. We were living in a smaller place. But we were happy because with us back again was Edward, my son. And so Edward grew to young manhood. Nothing could stop him. But then came the war. First the men were drafted, then the women, and finally they took Edward. It was terrible knowing that any day might be his lost. But there was no time for sentiment. And then it happened. A man from the War Department came to our house. We could tell by the look on his face that something terrible had happened to Edward. He was grinning from ear to ear. He looked at me and said,
Hey, Lord Bowles?
Yes?
Are you the father of Edward, my son?
Yes, I am.
It's my unpleasant duty to inform you that your
Never
son...
mind that. How did it happen?
We're not quite clear on the details, sir. All we know is that Edward bailed out.
Bailed out? What happened to his plane?
Oh, he wasn't in a plane. He was in a submarine.
I understand.
You do?
Quite. So my son Edward was drowned.
Yes, but we saved the piano player.
Good.
Well, that's my story. I'm an old man now. And all I have left is an old wife and an old piano player. But there's one thing I know. I, Lord Spencer Bolt, will always treasure the memory of...
Edward, my son, oh, Edward, my son. We changed it, arranged it, and now that it's done. Our Mary was so cute as ever a car. But Spencer Tracy showed up Benny by far. What can you expect from a four-minute star? Oh, Edward, my son.
Jack will be back in just a minute. But first...
We're a little late, so good night, folks.